then. Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. You know what we're going to be doing tonight. Me and a good content creator, a good friend of the channel, my sister from another, is going to be hanging out tonight, and we're going to go over the response from Candace Owens to the court on why this case that she didn't want dismissed should be dismissed. But before we get in too far and get too far gone, I want to say grace and peace to everybody. And let me bring my sister, Lady Luck Club, up in the building. What's happening, friend? How are you?
How you doing? What's going on?
Well, thank you. How are you? How are you?
Doing well. Shout out to all of you all listening on J Witt as well as the LLC. Good evening to all. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you. All right. So real quick, give me your overall 30,000 foot view. 30-second. Let's do 30-second elevator. What is your thoughts on this case so far?
I think that they're gonna win. Candace continues to double down, and her attorneys refuse to just kind of, pull her in and help her understand at this point, if they're gonna bring scientific evidence, that's going to make or break it at the end of the day. Doesn't matter what people think Brigitte Macron looks like. It is about what can be scientifically proven when it comes to proving gender.
Okay.
So they can bring in that diagnostic test result, whether it's blood work or an MRI for pelvic area. I don't, whatever that scientific evidence is, that's going to be what the court is going to use and what the jury is going to see. I personally believe she's going to try to do an out-of-court settlement first because Candace doesn't want to go through court. And this is just based on historical context of her other lawsuits that, she's either lost or stipulated to dismissing. She never wants to go through the full process. So she doesn't really see a winning strategy here. And I do believe they're going to try to settle out of court. So
I like it. I like it. I'm going to go with the Macrons are going to win. And by win, that means they will take care of her outside of court or inside of court. I agree with you 100%. I don't believe Candace wants to go to court with this trial simply because I don't know if you know, but today Wolf of Finance announced that he got a cease and desist letter from TPUSA.
Good.
And to me, I think she's realizing, as much as she joked about BB fighting multi-front wars in Israel, she herself is now going to experience that, because I am pretty certain, I actually have it on good authority, that somebody else is suing her. So so it's not just TPUSA, it's not just the Macrons. There are other entities. I know another one. So if I know one, and I don't know everybody because I'm an obscure YouTuber, she's going to be fighting a multi-front war all over the place herself. So therefore, I think she's going to want to get some of these things off her plate because she's not going to be able to handle them all.
Right.
And this one right here is probably going to be the most arduous because the Macrons have to agree to a settlement. So she's going to have to put her hat in her hand and come to Brigitte and Emmanuel. I think that part is going to really twist her screws, especially if her team starts saying, yeah, you need to go ahead and give them a call and apologize.
Exactly.
You need to give them a call and see if they'll work some kind of deal out, because we're not going to, this is not going to be a short process, because they have all the time in the world to drag it out. And so that being the case, I do think this one is going to probably, she's going to try to find a way to get out of this one sooner than later, but I don't think it's going to get dismissed by the court. Once it finds out that the judge is not going to dismiss it, I think that's when we're going to go into extra innings, and we'll see something like we're having a conversation, or we're flying to France to have a conversation, have some croissants at the Eiffel Tower or something like that. So
yeah, they might be ordered to mediation. They could be ordered to attempt to do some sort of out-of-court settlement with a mediator, which is standard in these type of civil proceedings. So I would, and then she could say, well, it's not that I want to do the mediation. We're being ordered by the court to do it, but
and she could still say face.
Yeah, exactly.
She can still say face amongst Cantifa. Absolutely.
Right.
She can still say
she won't
face.
Tell them that she wanted to file a motion to dismiss. Like, it's too much like for her to read that in a whole show. Yeah. Do us all
Well,
a favor and read that court document,
well, I
please.
think it's interesting that she never did address, and this is par for
Well,
Candace's court. So I'm not. This is par for Candace. I'm not actually surprised, really, that she never addressed it. She's never addressed why is it that
exactly.
you are filing for a dismissal when you clearly told Tucker Carlson that you weren't. You
Exactly.
big chested told Pierce Morgan
Yeah.
that you weren't. But lo and behold, you actually were. Was it Pierce Morgan? Pierce Brosnan? Who is it?
It was Piers Morgan.
Pierce Morgan. That's what I thought.
Piers Morgan.
Um, like
Piers Brosnan.
you laughed at me. I'm like, what you laughing at
Isn't
you
that
for?
the movie?
Like, wait, is it Daniel Craig?
We're talking about Secret. What's the
Sean
spy
Connery.
movie he did? Oh my
Say again?
god, the spy movies he did.
Yeah. I was like, at some point,
That's
I
not Piers
think
Brosnan. Piers
I
Brosnan.
do think she's gonna have a lot of irons in the fire. She's gonna try to cool some of them
Yeah.
down. And I
Yeah.
think, sadly, I think the Macron one is the most egregious one. The other ones are, well, I don't know. Now I think about it, because if other people want money because they defamed her, and Macron's want money because they're gonna defame her, who gonna get the money first? I think, because I don't think she really has a lot of legs to stand on. So that's gonna be
Well,
interesting.
I think it's the issue is too, even if they of course get money for damages and all of that.
Mhm.
Look at the other cases where they have asked for some sort of financial compensation for damages. It wasn't a whole lot of money, so I think the bigger picture is, we're trying to teach a lesson here. Is we're not going to sit here and just let you, because they've endured all of that previously, before she even had this conversation with some medium and seance or whatever this witchcraft nonsense is.
She be doing the most.
But exactly. And it's like they've sued others, and the amount that they were asking for, you would think like, wow, that's not a whole lot for president and first lady here.
Mhm.
But it's all about the principle of the situation. Don't sit here and lie about someone being born one gender over the other, and you're simultaneously taking away her motherhood. You're sitting here and cutting into a part of her life that she probably holds near. She probably is proud of being a woman. She's had 3 kids. She has grandchildren. And then the aftermath of what the family, her daughters and her grandchildren, are having to endure as well because of this. It could be the bigger driving force here. So, even if the other relatives don't testify to what's going on and how this is impacting their lives, the principle of the situation includes how you're making my family feel. You're telling me I didn't give birth 3 times? What? Like, as a mom, you're not going to tell me I didn't have children. No, I had 2 kids, and I got the scars to prove it. Like, you're not going to take that away from me because you think I'm a man. I don't care. Right. So, that it's the bigger picture here, and the bigger impact that Brigitte Macron is looking at, not just as the impact on her, but the impact on her children and her grandchildren. That's worthy of me taking a little behind the court over. So even if I get bucks, we going to court. You're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today. Shout out for sure. Thank you so much. What did doctor say right here? Doctor said, I believe the Macrons will win. And part of the requirements from the Macrons will be for Candace to publicly apologize and state that she's seen evidence that Brigitte isn't a man. Macrons don't need money. Okay. But I do think they're gonna make her take down that other concept, which tacitly is losing money. So she'd have to take it down off of the various and sundry social platforms. She can't go any further on it. I do think that. But I like that, though. I like that. Thank you for the 10 for sure. And shout out to the Independent Mail. Can's Wolf tickets are about to get expensive if she don't cut it out. Great show. Thank you so much, Independent Mail. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for the $20 super, my man. All right, let's get at it. Let's get active. So people are like, well, hey, what are we talking about tonight? I'm glad that you ask. So
absolutely.
Is this mine or yours? That's yours.
I think it might be mine.
Uh-huh.
You want it? I can send it to you.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna grab it just so I can zoom in a little bit. Let me remove yours for a second.
Go ahead.
Just so I can zoom in. All right. So what are we looking at, Jason? That's a great question. Thank you so much. We are looking at the Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte. They're suing. They're suing Candace. They're suing Candace's LLC and George
Mm-hmm.
Tom. That's Candace, Candace's business, and her husband. Well, why are they
Yep.
suing her husband? That's just mean. Is that like why are they suing her husband? Do you know why, Lady Luck?
Well, Georgetown Inc. is one of the LLCs that she has where her channel is affiliated with it. And that's where you got this revenue coming in from her show, from the merchandise, and all these things. So it's not George Farmer, the individual, but it is Georgetown Inc., the business entity that's
Got it.
being sued along with her LLC because that's where she's making the money. And they are registered in the state of Delaware. So that, kind of give ground for them to be able to file the suit in that state because that's where the LLCs are registered.
I like it. I like it. All right. So we see
Yep.
here the defendants reply brief in support of their motion to dismiss and to strike the first amended complaint. Only thing I'm going to say right here, all I want to talk about is right here. I just want to be super duper, unequivocally, unrepentantly petty. Does anybody know why I stopped right here on this screen? Put it in the chat if you know why Jason stopped right here at this point on the screen.
Why? Because of the caps?
Because of the 920 building. The 920 building is in the chat.
Oh, Lord.
920's here. Now,
that's where the Transformer, the Red Crane, that ended up being
Crane,
the Optimus
Fed
Prime
building.
Transformer.
Yeah. They got a good little deli downstairs, though. Shout out to them. The 920 building.
Oh, you got your maroon hoodie on.
I'm rocking the maroon hoodie. Yeah, absolutely. I had to do some work after church tonight. Had to go run out and do a little quick job. So I had to help the maroon team out today.
I want a maroon shirt. Hey, of course I want this maroon Spellman shirt, but I want a maroon shirt. Give me one.
Well, let me drop the link in the chat. Why don't I? Why don't I do that? All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. We are not going to read through all of the various and sundries, but we're going to get to the more immediate matters. Because this thing has a long table of contents. I've never seen this before. Why do they have all of these no valid statutory basis jurisdiction exists? Why do they have all these in the beginning? I've never seen that before.
So when it comes to certain filing of court documents and pleadings, they have to be formatted a certain way based on court rule. So what you're looking at is just a table of contents, and it's just telling the judge exactly, what's where. And judges don't like to read. I'm gonna tell you all that right now. They don't like to read. So when they going over these things, they want to be able to just kind of, if they need to, let me just go to this page real quick, especially if you are pulling up this document in court. They want to just be able to get to certain sections. And then, of course, you have, and then you have case law to follow. Yep.
I just have never seen it like this.
On this. Just send me to the page. What page is that on? Like,
I've never seen it made like this. Like, I mean, well, we got the Depth and Hers shout out. If y'all want to check that out, it's in there.
Case law.
I just thought it was really.
Case law.
I had never seen it formatted like this. But I mean, I understand it. It's standard. Like, this is okay. I never seen it like this.
This is the reply briefs, the memorandums. They're formatted a certain way, and this is based on court rules. So many of them would be like this, and this is pretty detailed. Considering even though they don't really have a point to prove, but they still have to make sure it's formatted the way the court says it should be. So there you go.
I can get down with it. Okay, I'm gonna let you get started reading, but I just want to make one point. I think it's adorable. Absolutely, wrap your arms around it. Adorable. How Candace is sometimes a journalist, other times just a podcaster, other times an investigative journalist. Whatever it is that she just determines and defines herself. I mean, she's a Renaissance woman. And I just think it's adorable because now she's the American journalist.
No.
The American journalist. Here, you know what? I know I just said I'm gonna let you do it, but I'm just feeling my coffee's starting to kick in. So
go ahead.
The plaintiff's attempt to muzzle an American journalist through a contrived defamation suit not only tramples on the First Amendment, it comprehensively fails as a matter law. Is it a matter of law or matter of law?
It's a matter of law.
It should
It
be
should be
of,
a
right?
matter of law. Yeah, it should be of.
Okay. It's
Hey, one of
funny
those words
because
didn't make the cut.
so somebody sent this to me initially without all of the other without the index in the beginning. And I was like, I don't know if this is right because it had spelling errors in it. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
what's the
you
grammar
won't
error in there? I
find
said,
that.
this ain't legit.
Yeah.
Nobody did that. You at least went Grammarly on them.
Yep.
Let me stop
That's
because I
it's
mess up
the
all the time.
attorneys.
Plaintiff's
3 attorneys.
opposition cannot correct several dispositive flaws in their pleading. Thus, this court should dismiss with prejudice plaintiff's amended complaint for 4 reasons. Go ahead, Lady Luck. What's reason number 1?
Ooh. So it says first, this court lacks jurisdiction over Owens, notwithstanding plaintiffs' belief that Delaware courts may exercise general jurisdiction over any person anywhere, even if they lack any meaningful connection in the state. Delaware statutes and due process principles instruct otherwise. Plaintiffs similarly neglect to provide valid grounds to exercise specific jurisdiction.
That's funny
Oh,
because
child.
they clearly explain, and again, and I've said it here and I've shown it here on this channel. Candace has sued people from Delaware. I think
Yes,
that
she has.
automatically kiboshes this right here, not because I want
Yep.
Candace to lose, but because no, you've sued people from Delaware, boo. Like you
Right.
sued them.
Right. And here's the thing to remember too is that the defendant in that particular matter, I think it was USA Today and Gannett,
Yep.
they also have their LLC registered in the state of Delaware, but she did state in that court document that her LLCs are registered in the state of Delaware. So, you know, in these matters, the defendants, wherever their LLC is registered to, then that would give the plaintiffs ground to file that lawsuit in that state. And that's why it's in Delaware, because Candace's LLCs are registered in Delaware.
Right. Because they wouldn't have and I guarantee, and not a guarantee, but it would be interesting. I wonder if they had filed it. Let's just say they filed it in Nebraska. Let's just say for whatever reason they filed it in
Right.
Nebraska. I wonder would they have been using the same argument, or would they say like my LLC is not even in Nebraska, or they filed
would
in New
use the
York?
same
How about
argument.
what they use in New York? Say again.
Yeah, I think it's the same argument.
Yeah, I think the same argument
court
would have
lacks
come up.
jurisdiction. Yeah, exactly.
But this one right here, I think they kind of just skate by the fact that you do have an LLC in Delaware. I have no business in Delaware. I
Right.
truly have no business in Delaware. So therefore, it wouldn't make sense for that case to be against me in Delaware. It would need to be in Georgia at best, right?
Right.
But my LLC, if it was formed in, I don't know, if I had my LLC in Texas, then it would make sense. I don't know why that's a lapse so far.
If you look at what they said, they're saying over the person. So Candace is being sued in her individual capacity as well. They're trying to say, well, you don't have jurisdiction over Candace Owens, the individual, and she does not live in the state of Delaware. But
Gotcha.
they don't even mention the fact that the entities that are actually co-defendants are registered in the state of Delaware, and the courts could have jurisdiction over that. So it's almost like they're saying, and here my question would be, if we took Candace Owens out as the individual, as a co-defendant, and just left Candace Owens LLC and Georgetown Inc., then would they still be making the same argument?
That's a fantastic question. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're only reading one of the defendants. There's 3 defendants on the complaint. The first one is Candace. Well, Candace doesn't live in Delaware.
She don't live here.
Throw everything out. Like, just read the next line under, my guy. Read the next.
Exactly.
The right. Just look down one more. Just read the second complaint. All right.
So the second reason here says second plaintiff submitted complaint impermissibly as factual allegations that post-date plaintiff's original pleading in violation of Superior Court Rules, Civil Rule 15. Plaintiff's opposition provides no legally cognizable basis for their improper supplementation. So I don't know what the Superior Court Rule, CV Rule 15 is in the state of Delaware. I can't recite it. So I think, I would just have to read that to understand exactly what they're claiming is being violated here. But, they're alleging that the amended complaint basically sounds like should not have been filed or there's some error with it that would make it invalid based on court rule.
We'll look into it. I like it.
Yeah.
Third, plaintiffs cannot overcome defendants showing that Delaware's borrowing statute requires the court to apply France's 3-month statute of limitation. The flaw is fatal to all of plaintiffs' claims. I don't know where this borrowing
What is the
statute comes
statute?
from. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did
Yeah.
ask, and I know some people are going to say, hey, well, you all are not lawyers. That's right. I'm a pre-K law student.
I know,
I
man.
don't
Yeah,
know a
I'm not
thing.
lawyer.
And we did reach out to a few lawyers to tap
Mhm.
in. And again, a lot of them are busy and doing their own things. And this is just a really just a pet project of ours. So I do apologize
Right.
if we don't have all of the I's crossed and the T's dotted. So just please forgive us for that. Now, you caught that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I just want to make sure you
We
caught that.
got
Good
the
job.
G's today, y'all, and
Good
crossing
job.
eyes.
Good job.
That's what we do.
So you know what to expect from us. You know what to expect from us.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Number 4. You want 4?
Yeah, I'll take it. Fourth, plaintiff's argument is that this court should bear this ease despite the state lacking. Is that ease? Case. I'm sorry,
Case.
case. Despite the state lacking any real connection to the case, and plaintiff's concession that Delaware law does not apply, misapprehends the law of forum non-convenience. As such, the relevant cryo-made factors favor dismissal. So like I said, it is more lingual that the legalese. I haven't looked that up, so I have to read what the forum non-convenience is and all of that.
Okay. I'm going to take over the plaintiff. Plaintiffs cannot meet their burden to establish jurisdiction. Plaintiffs concede. Now, this is the plaintiffs concede that it is their burden to establish jurisdiction over both Delaware statutory law and due process principles. However, they fail to meet this burden on any theory. Accordingly, this court lacks personal jurisdiction over Owens. I still don't understand why they can't. They keep saying over Owens and not considering the other aspects like Owens LLC and Tom
Exactly.
Tom George, whatever, LLC.
Yeah.
No valid statutory basis for jurisdiction. Did you have something to say? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, I'm listening.
Plaintiffs fail to establish general jurisdiction under the section 3104 Charlie 4. As shown, and I'm not going to read all that, Owens is not subject to general jurisdiction under this Delaware code. Plaintiffs appear to assert that Owens may be sued in Delaware for any tort committed outside of the state. That is absurd.
I can't believe they wasted words on that.
Yeah, like why do you keep saying?
Why is that is absurd? This does not apply. Like they wasted words on these ridiculous statements. Like their attorneys. That's what you think this is. When you see op BR, that's opposition brief, and then they're giving the page numbers just as a heads up so that people can see what that is. But yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna file an op against them. I'm gonna file an op BR against them. No, I like it.
Ooh, okay. Lord have mercy.
Well, wait till you see what I actually say what this is.
Lord. The statute code.
Squiggly line. A squiggly line right there.
Squidward up in here. Yeah, shout out to Squidward.
Here we go. To establish general jurisdiction, plaintiffs must demonstrate that Owens has a general presence in Delaware. I still don't get I'm trying to figure out like why is it that you're hung up on Owens being in Delaware and not her company?
Right. And the fact that she chose Delaware as a state to register these LLCs does not mean directly that she's going to have a physical presence in the state itself. And even if she did, let's say her LLCs were registered in Texas, then they will follow the money. They're not following the person, Candace Owens. They're following the money that she's making under these LLCs. So I don't, whether she's in the state of Delaware or not is irrelevant. She could go there and live there 11 months out the year. You know, this still comes down to the fact that she, the person, is the one that's being defamatory, making the statements, and she's profiting off of it from her YouTube channel, from her book sales, from her merchandise. It's all registered under this LLC and Georgetown Inc., which is affiliated with. they're just going. They're suing where the money is. That's it.
So I
I
guess
don't care if she lives there.
it might not be an exact apples to apples, but I guess I would ask this question: is there a benefit for registering your LLC in Delaware?
It could be a tax benefit.
There's a
I
tax
mean,
benefit, right? There would be a
yeah, I
tax
think there's a
benefit,
tax
or
benefit.
there's some reasons why. Because again, Delaware is there's a lot of people that have their LLCs in Delaware.
Right. Yep.
So does she
Yep.
not receive a financial? Let's just say it's taxes, and let's say
Hmm.
that if she were in Tennessee, she would pay this amount, but in Delaware, she pays considerably less. Is that fair? Or let's
Yeah,
just
I think
for an
that's
example.
what it
So
is.
there
She
is
gets
a
more tax
monetary
breaks too.
benefit and a
Yeah.
financial reason for her to
Hmm.
do it in Delaware. So is
Right.
she reaping that benefit? Because she's not paying Tennessee level. Let's say Tennessee
Hmm.
level was 20%, but in
Right.
Delaware it's 10%. That's a big jump.
Yeah, it
Is
is,
she is
and
she
she gets to
is
do it
she
all under
paying
her
the is she
LLC.
paying the full 20 to Delaware? No, she's not. She's
Nope.
taking advantage of it being 10%. So
Right.
therefore, you do get a benefit for being in Delaware.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
just stop. Like, just stop
Not
playing.
physically in person, but the attorney
Yeah.
said they've been making this argument about libel tourism, since the beginning, and it's like first they were shopping around for who has the best jurisdiction, and then
Do they
now
have
it's
proof of that?
she's not physically there.
Do
No, they
they
can't
have
say
proof of that?
that.
I never
No.
saw proof of that.
Not at all. Not at all. There's
Yeah.
no it's all about what the case they're trying to present. Not that they have evidence to show that the plaintiffs are just doing libel tourism here. It's just one of their claims that they're decrying as her defense. But it's a moot point because at the end of the day, she herself admitted that these LLCs are registered there. So
Right.
you could claim that they're doing libel tourism. It's irrelevant. They would not be in the state of Delaware if her LLCs weren't there, where she's making the money. So
Well, guess what? Plaintiffs can neither make such a showing nor establish any of the limited set of affiliations with a forum that will render a defendant amenable to all purpose jurisdiction there, which each ordinarily indicate only one place for individuals there domicile.
yeah.
Okay.
They're trying to say you should be suing her in Tennessee,
But
but
they want
still
to sue
live
her
with the
business.
LLCs.
Right. But
Still live with the
she,
LLCs.
right. But she, I mean, is part and parcel of Candace Owens LLC.
Yeah,
So
she's the
you
individual.
can't leave the
She makes
LLC in
statements.
Delaware and then
Right.
sue Candace Owens in Tennessee and then go sue a nameless LLC in Delaware. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And I mean, the fact that, they seem to be one of the same because she made these statements while, supposedly working under this, channel connected to this LLC. She works for herself. And it's
Right.
kind of like, you're not suing a separate business to which she's just employed for. No, she is the employer and employee. So it's hard to separate her from, the statement she made while working and making money under this LLC. I mean, it comes down to even if they take this to Tennessee, they're still gonna sue her and get damages. At the end of the day, you're just decrying lack of jurisdiction, and they're trying to buy time by saying the statute of limitations is not passing by because there's certain time frame you have for these type of cases to be filed. Now it's
Yeah.
once they push that and realize that's not going to work, then it'll be like, okay, well, now what we're left with is statute of limitations. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
No, I'm totally with you. All right. Where was I? I don't remember.
After the
Uh,
case law there.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll just go with second. Second,
Yeah.
plaintiffs assert general jurisdiction exists because Owens, through her business entities, contracts with various Delaware entities not headquartered in Delaware, but no authority supports this theory. Merely contracting with Delaware entities is insufficient to establish specific, much less general jurisdiction. But you're not just contracting.
Yeah, she owns the LLC,
Isn't
so it's
isn't having your LLC formed in Delaware more than just a contract? I mean, you're taking advantage of, again, of tax benefits, of other
right.
benefits that come from being there. It's not just like I'm doing business with a t-shirt manufacturer in Delaware or a coffee brewer in Delaware. I'm doing more than that. Am I right or am I making that up?
No, you're not. I mean, it's they're trying to say that her LLCs are, not headquartered here, but they're registered there.
Right.
And whether the physical location of the business is located there is irrelevant because she works in her basement. But the LLC does not have to be headquartered in the same state where she works out of. That's with any company. You
Yes.
can have a headquarters of a company in one state, but then they have branches in other states.
Hmm.
So if you don't sue the state where the headquarters is, doesn't mean you don't have jurisdiction to sue, where one of the branches may be located in a separate state. If the incident occurred in that state, in that building, of Coca-Cola, and it's in the state of Florida, but the headquarters is in the state of Georgia, you're suing where the incident occurred.
Correct.
They're trying to say her headquarters isn't even here. Her headquarters is where her home is because it's hers. But it's where her LLC is. That's it. Why does she even have this stuff registered in Delaware?
Yeah,
Oh, the
that's the
tax
question.
benefits. It's because have
That's
to.
30.
It's
That's
not
a
contracting in Delaware.
right. That's a $10 million question. Like, then what is the purpose of having your
Right.
LLC formed in Delaware if there's not a
Yeah.
tax benefit, if there's not a financial benefit, if you're not, I mean,
Yeah.
again, you don't live there, but your company lives there.
Right.
Your company
Yeah.
lives there in some form or fashion. Is not in. Why is it not in Missouri or Nantucket
Yep.
or Washington State? Why
When
not?
she files her taxes, she's filing taxes and putting down that the LLC is registered in the state of Delaware. And they're recognizing the tax codes for the state of Delaware. So if she's getting that financial benefit, then she might want to suck it up. Otherwise, maybe the IRS should know that she really is just doing this for the tax benefits and she's trying to curtail the process. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great
We should be calling
point.
the IRS. You can make this up. Candace, don't
Third,
make me
plain
call the IRS.
don't do it. Plaintiffs claim that Owen derives substantial revenue from Delaware. Again, this claim is factually unsupported and it is improperly conflated. Owens with the other defendants. The
Oh
other
my God.
defendants are her. Other defendant is her and her husband, man. Come on. And
Right.
E, plaintiffs do not allege that Owens herself derives any revenue from Delaware. What?
What do you mean? Money comes from everywhere. She has people all over the country sending money in through supers,
Yeah,
purchasing
but just
merchandise and all of that. And I
what?
mean, didn't she have a PO box or something in Delaware for merchandise? Where does her merchandise go?
Her merchandise sale, like her cups and stuff like that, that
Yeah,
comes
them
from
t-shirts.
Texas.
Oh, okay. So
Shout out to Brandon Tatum. He does her
yeah,
merchandise for her.
still does her merchandise.
He still
Lord.
does her merchandise. You didn't hear me say that
But
out loud.
the money comes from everywhere. So you can't say these electronic payments are coming in and they're only pinpointed coming in through, one state over the other. So to say that, they don't have any evidence to prove that she's, generating all this revenue in Delaware, she's getting the tax benefits from being registered in Delaware. So, whether she's generating, it's coming through that LLC.
Right. It's the LLC. I would think that
It's
would be
coming
my
through
argument
under this
as well.
LLC.
It's the LLC, not the primarily just the organization. But I'm sorry, but it's your LLC.
Right.
It just seems a little bit
It's
like, come on
there.
now. Yeah, this is some kindergarten
Ooh, they
argumentation.
stretching. They trying. Lord, they trying.
They reaching, declining to exercise jurisdiction absent any factual basis supporting that a substantial number of defendants' books are sold and shipped regularly to this forum. Like I don't. It's not just books. It's not just substantial number of
T-shirts.
books.
Yeah. Hats, cups,
All that stuff.
CIA logos. Yeah, the CIA should sue her for real. Can't make this up.
Yeah. Go ahead with this fourth one.
Fourth, plaintiffs do not, and I want to make sure I'm okay. Plaintiffs do not dispute that Owens has never owned any Delaware real estate, that she does not reside in Delaware, or that she does not conduct business in Delaware. Instead, they rely on her purported contracts, revenue, and ownership. See, they just said it. Purported revenue,
Yeah.
and ownership of Delaware companies without alleging any conduct by Owens that occurred here. Plaintiff's claims also are based on statements allegedly made on Owens' podcast, which is broadcast from Tennessee. That is insufficient, but electronic broadcast, I mean, it's you can't say it's only going through the state of Tennessee either. It's broadcast out,
Right.
you know, across. It's electronically done, so it's irrelevant. Let's see here. They have some case law cited, Ross v. Earth Movers. Not only is there no persistent course of conduct in Delaware, there is no conduct directed at or in Delaware at all. They're saying, okay, she didn't make the statements in this state, so
Hmm.
she, you guys can't
And,
sue her here. Like it's,
and
it's
and
ridiculous.
and that's fair. I'm gonna give them. You know what? I'll
No,
give
she
you
didn't
that.
make the statements in the, but that's if we can prove that she's not in Delaware with that. She's all on a camera. Who says she's not in Delaware when she's doing her shows? Who says
I
she's
never
not?
did.
She would have to prove it. She's physically located in Tennessee, but you're doing it over an electronic platform and it's
Uh
being
huh.
broadcast out to people all over the world. So, you know, it's the impact that it's having, not necessarily, oh, she made the statements in this state. You can send an email. Does that change where a court will have jurisdiction? If you sent an email, it's electronically done. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you didn't threaten someone in that email. But because you can't say it was done in this state, the email originated in this state, it doesn't mean that the statement itself is not less, defamatory or threatening. So that's the important part here. I think they're missing what the court establishes as jurisdiction too.
Yeah.
Um,
No doubt, no argument for me at all.
yeah. So let's see here. Lastly, plaintiffs argue that anyone who operates a website through a Delaware entity subjects themselves to general jurisdiction here. That is wrong. Maintaining a website that is accessible to anyone over the internet is insufficient to justify general jurisdiction. And then they cite case law here. Well, that could
Hmm.
go both ways. That means that, you can't say that it should not apply in the state of Delaware if it's done over the internet.
There we go.
So internet is interstate, it
And,
crosses state lines.
right. And if your business is primarily online, then why are you forming your LLC, which again is primarily online in
Mhm.
Delaware? Why don't you move your LLC to where you are located? If you don't do
Right.
that, then you are subject to the laws of where your business is LLC'd.
Yeah,
That would just make
exactly.
sense.
Exactly. So number two, plaintiffs cannot demonstrate long arm jurisdiction based on sections 3104 C13, nor can plaintiffs demonstrate long arm jurisdiction. Plaintiffs' assertion that Owens has not contested plaintiffs' well pleaded jurisdictional allegations, opposition 9, and therefore has conceded them fails. Once Owens moved to dismiss on jurisdictional grounds, it became plaintiffs' burden to show that the court has personal jurisdiction over her, and they have her, not the LLCs in quotation.
Sorry
Then
about
they
that.
cite case law here. Owens need not have anticipated in her opening brief every jurisdictional theory plaintiffs might raise. Need not have anticipated in her. What do you mean? So if they don't anticipate it, that means that the plaintiffs can't bring it up. I mean,
I,
that would be the whole purpose if you're giving them, if you're saying it's now their burden. Of course, they're gonna go for every theory they can based on
right.
case law. It makes no sense. What are they talking about?
I don't. I know that again. I know legal professionals will explain that this is brinksmanship or whatever like that. But we just are looking at this as your average Joe and Jane. And does this make sense to us? Why would somebody do this? It doesn't make
Right.
sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Let's see here. This is Delaware Superior, November 14, 2025. The purpose of the reply brief is to respond to matters raised in the answering brief. The point of the rule against new arguments on reply is to prevent sandbagging, not require movements to anticipate their opponent's arguments. Regardless, Owens did contest plaintiffs' asserted factual basis for jurisdiction. Oppositional brief 9 through 21 and plaintiffs' new theories under section 3104 fail for the same reason. So I don't know what this section cites, so it's kind of hard for me to kind of give feedback on that.
No, that's cool. Let's keep going. As to section 3104, plaintiffs allege that Owens contracts with Delaware entities and sells things consumed in Delaware. I mean,
Mm.
so
Does it have
I
to be
mean,
consumed in Delaware? Does it
right?
have to be
I
consumed in
don't know if it
Delaware?
needs to be consumed or what does consumed mean? That might be another question.
I,
Like if I sell a hamburger and you eat it in Delaware, you're consuming it. But if I'm putting out a podcast, are you consuming the content? Or I put out a webinar, are you
right,
consuming the webinar? Or if I'm
right.
putting,
Where is
I
it
got an
being consumed?
audio
Yeah,
book, are you listening to it?
right. Where
Right.
is the
So,
product being consumed? So they're saying, oh, it
or
should be consumed in Delaware. No, it doesn't, because it's being sold, it's being purchased online on the internet, which crosses state lines, and then is the broadcasts are being consumed in every state in the US, not just in Delaware.
correct.
So they keep missing the point with this whole thing with the LLCs being registered there.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if it's deliberately being obtuse or they just don't get it. Or maybe we don't get it. I don't know. But like, I don't hear, I can't imagine that you would make this argument anywhere else except, and again, I'm not mad at you because you're trying to get your client off. You're trying to
Mm-hmm.
earn your salt. I'm not mad at you. So do what you
Yeah.
got to do. It just seems like this is not the best argument. And I don't think you really have a good argument for why you shouldn't be sued in Delaware. That's the part.
Right. Exactly. Good.
All right, where did we stop? As
As shown. Yeah.
as shown, Supra Section 1A1, contracting with Delaware entities is insufficient. Okay.
Okay.
Insufficient. Further, for this court to exercise jurisdiction under section, some act must actually occur in Delaware. But your business is digital. Doesn't it happen everywhere?
You would
I
think.
mean, I'm not trying to be
State line.
obtuse about it, but it seems like it does happen anywhere. Mobile Diagnostic Group versus Sure, and we'll have to clean that up as well. But here, plaintiffs allege no act by Owens in Delaware at. I'm trying to figure out why this Chief Harstel versus Vanguard Group Inc. from 2011 at 14 Delaware.
Just citing case law, but when did the plaintiff say that they recognized that no act was alleged in Delaware? What if she went to Delaware and actually made some of these statements and did a broadcast in Delaware? What if she did?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to muddy the water. Personally, I don't see
Yeah.
any good reason for why they don't see it like that.
Right.
Okay, let's keep this dance going.
Okay.
Where none of these acts by the individual defendants alleged to have caused injury took place in Delaware. Okay, so I would ask the question, are there any acts that cause injury? And what are they? Because they didn't have to happen in Delaware, I wouldn't think. I think because we're leaning on the LLC where your company is formed.
Yeah, they're saying, the defamation itself, where they claim they were harm, the harm came from the defamation itself. And they're saying it was not done in Delaware. Okay, so that means you're going to be prepared to just come in and prove where she was every time she broadcasts, because we all know she can definitely travel and go somewhere else and do a live stream or do a post or, the defamation wasn't just limited to the broadcast. You're talking about posts, books,
tweets. Yep, all that kind of good
all
jazz.
those things. So who says she was never in Delaware when she put out these defamatory statements? That is
that metadata. We gotta get that
Harper
metadata.
Act. Candace, give us your coordinates.
We gotta get that. We gotta get that metadata. We gotta get that metadata, friend. All right. Moreover, the mere formation of a Delaware entity without more is insufficient for a court to exercise jurisdiction. That's interesting. So you could just have a business entity in Delaware and not get sued in Delaware because I live in Georgia.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to argue.
Okay.
It's so crazy.
Right. And again, like if my LLC was formed in Delaware, following this logic, I couldn't get sued by you know, the Prince of Wakanda out
Yeah.
of Delaware. They had to. Okay, all right. I
Yeah.
mean, I
I term this
guess.
boy, they being overzealous. That's what they call it, being overzealous for your client.
Yeah,
You
I don't know
throw
about
spaghetti
that
at the
one.
wall. They're trying their
And
best.
plaintiffs show no nexus between the formation of the Delaware entity and the cause of action asserted. I don't know if that's the. I don't think they were making that claim. I thought they were making the claim that the business was there and she profited from the business being in Delaware.
Right. Exactly. She profited
Okay.
from the harm caused, the defamation, the series, the books, the posts.
Right.
She got views, she got money, and it came through this, all under this LLC. The revenue generated is reported under this LLC. When she reports this revenue to the IRS, it will be based on the state of Delaware. So they keep overlooking that. And I mean, her tax documents is going to show how this revenue came in.
That's true.
Why are they
Yeah.
forgetting about that discovery?
I don't know. I think, like I said, I don't think they're going to be as successful as maybe they really intended and wanted.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they're going to end up, they're going to put their hat in the
Right.
hand and they're going to be like, hey, can we come up with a way to not make this, can we make this go away?
Yeah, the judge looking at this like,
Yeah,
this is a
I
dumb
don't.
argument.
Well, I mean, maybe the judge is feeling them. Maybe the judge is feeling them. I just don't. I
Come
just
on,
don't
Judge
understand
Rennie.
it. I just don't get it.
I mean, all right, go ahead.
A nexus formation is it? Okay. A nexus exists when the entity's formation is an integral component of the conduct giving rise to the cause of action.
Integral component of the conduct giving rise to the cause of action.
Okay.
Okay.
And I can understand this argument. The entity, if we were making and we had a company that produced a product that deliberately went out and hurt people. Well, the formation of the company was to make these products that deliberately go out and do nothing but hurt people. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And
it does. But I
that's
mean,
what I'm understanding. Like, it's not that component. I can understand that. Set in motion a series of events which
mhm,
form the basis of the cause of action. I think that's where the problem is. Like the company's
right.
LLC, and again, maybe you didn't start out to cause chaos, but I don't know. Maybe you could make that argument because she got
She's
her.
always been controversial. So
That's
to
true.
say, this is not ever established to be defamatory. Well, she's sued and been sued since she's had this LLC previously.
Right.
So what are we talking about here? She is either creating the controversy or she's claiming someone is, being defamatory towards her. But this is not the first lawsuit that she has that has been, either filed against her or that she's
Hmm.
filed against someone else with this LLC in the state of Delaware. That's what's so crazy about this. So she intentionally did a series of, videos and books and posts and all these things on the internet
On the
that
interweb.
led to, these defamatory statements being made. She
Right.
intentionally did this stuff. It wasn't accidental. It wasn't like, oh, I didn't mean to make these statements and not fact check myself. No, she did that and she doubled down.
Right.
And now there's a season 2 and it's still being done while she has this LLC registered in Delaware. There's a season 2 of this Brigitte thing.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
she's allegedly working on. No, that's always a good point. So no, in plaintiff's Tamir case, citing the Delaware entity was necessary both to complete the transaction and give effect to the contract that formed the basis of the litigation.
Mhm.
But is that always the case, though?
No, it's
No, I don't think it's always the case that I had to start this company and with the intent of it hurting and harming somebody particular. Maybe it just did it on a whim. Maybe it wasn't intentional, but it came out later on. Or maybe after the fact, there's an arm of the company that does cause chaos and harms people. Like I don't know why that would have to be the way that he went
I'm
about
trying
it.
I'm trying to
Where
figure out what contract this is. They keep saying she's contracted with entities in Delaware. No, she owns these LLCs registered in Delaware. What is she contracted with?
I don't know. I think
Who are
that,
these contracts?
in my opinion, based upon information and belief, I feel like they're trying to hang up on contract so that they can say, see, there's no contracts that the LLC is doing. It's kind of like they're just like
Hmm.
chumming the water by keep saying it, as if
Yeah.
that's the argument that the Macrons are making. I don't think that's what they're doing,
Right.
in my
Exactly.
opinion.
Yeah.
All right, jurisdiction. Where did I go? Sorry about that. Jurisdiction
It's okay.
based on Delaware's entity appropriate where it was created for the express purpose of facilitating private entity investments in the United States, including Delaware, and the entity's Delaware focused conduct was the subject of suit. Didn't you? But are you not investing in America?
I
By, I
mean,
mean,
it's
in the United States by working and doing business in Delaware? I'm missing that argument.
private equity investments. I mean, she's generating revenue, whether she's investing or not. What she has assets or anything there. They're focused on the revenue itself. If she was ordered to pay out a judgment, it's gonna take money. So
I take money.
they're just trying to follow like where the cash flow is. There's whether she's got you know private equity investments and all of that. That had
Yeah,
nothing to do with her choosing to make these defamatory statements and cause this damage. So,
I don't get it. The Delaware entity must have been formed for the purpose of engaging in the challenged transaction. See, that's what I'm saying. Like you had to build the company in order to, like, you started the company in Delaware because you wanted to attack somebody else. That's not, or hurt somebody particular, or
or
do
generate
what,
revenue for it.
right.
Yeah. Like make money
No,
off
that's
of
not,
this.
no, I don't think that's,
But
I don't know. I think,
this is
I
so
don't
weird.
think that this is going to fly. The case law is going to be what it is, but I just don't think it's going
Hmm.
to fly in that direction. I don't think the judge is going to be that obtuse. So,
Right.
okay, let's keep going. Here, however, as plaintiffs concede, the entity defendants were formed years before Owens made any of the challenge statements. Okay, I don't know if that needs to be the case, but maybe that's it. Maybe that's the silver bullet. Maybe that's the smoking gun that will cause them to be successful and say, "Hey, well, we had this company years prior, her making these terrible statements."
But they're trying to make it seem as if that's no one's challenging whether or not she created these LLCs to make these defamatory statements and cause the damage. It's the fact that she simply did it and the revenue she generated from the defamation, from the shows, from the statements made, from the series, from the books, the products, all of that generated revenue that fell under this LLC. Who establishes a business to be defamatory? That I mean, if that's what
Um,
they're summoning down to, it's like no one creates an entity and forms a business just so that they can make money being defamatory. Like no one's going to tell on themselves, even if they wanted to do that. No one's going to go to court and say, "Well, this is why I have this LLC. It's really for me to go out and verbally accost people online." No one's going to ever admit to that. So
right.
they're making a moot point that doesn't seem to chime with what the actual allegation is because they're just trying to bring forth all these various arguments to the court to say, here's why you don't have jurisdiction. Here's another reason why you don't have jurisdiction. Here's this other reason. And the arguments they're making is doesn't seem like they're all based on what has been alleged. They're just throwing out all of these theories out here. And they're just hoping the judge just falls for one of them. That
Uh, uh,
seems to be the case here.
they have to fall for a lot of them, in my opinion. Though here, however, as plaintiffs concede, the entity defendants were formed years before the Owens made any of the challenge statements. I already read that. Sorry about that. And the
Very good.
formation has nothing to do with the plaintiff's claims. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's, to me, that's
Mm.
probably, of everything we've read so far, that's probably the better argument that they've made, is that the company didn't start out with the intent. That's probably the best argument I've heard, but I don't think it's good. I think that's probably the best of the bad arguments that we've heard.
Yeah, exactly.
according to this section, is no basis for jurisdiction. Just because of that, there's no jurisdiction. Let's go. Plaintiffs allege Owens caused them reputational and other injury in the state through her torturous conduct of publishing and distributing the series of related ex posts for Delaware citizens and residents to view through Delaware entities.
When did they say that? Did they allege that specifically?
I think so.
But Delaware citizens and residents, why would they? Man, that's so weird.
I think they say like everybody gets it, and they're just like pointing out that the people get it from.
Yeah, it comes through. Yeah, of course, people in Delaware that support her, that live there, are going to consume her content in that state because that's where they live. But this is ultimately all done on electronic platforms, so it's being broadcast out beyond just the state. But you can't say that no one in Delaware is consuming it either. So hopefully that's what they mean when they with the allegation.
No, I agree. Let me see. We are on what point are we on?
However, do not.
No, I was gonna take a commercial break real quick.
Okay.
Let's take a quick little 3-minute commercial break, everybody. Yay. Just to kind of stretch. I think you might enjoy this. So let me make this.
Oh wait, can we check out the video of that was done? Because TPUSA sent the cease and desist.
Yeah, I did that one this morning. It's a long video. It's like 20 minutes long.
I saw one that was like 3 minutes long for somebody else.
Okay. Well, I do have a commercial break I think everybody will benefit from, though. Let's go. Shout out to Milk Bar TV. Green hearts in the chat where you can eat.
Milk Bar.
No one, and I mean absolutely no one, outside of my husband and Erica Kirk has the power to shut me up right now. That's it. 2 people. If you got to make an appeal, you got to go to them. And like I said, there's nobody that has the capacity to get me to shut up about this except for Erica Kirk and my husband. Those are the only people that I will answer to. I am on this journey to figure out what happened on that day. I'm not going to stop unless Erica Kirk asks me to stop, as I have said. I said early on, if Erica Kirk asks me to be quiet, I will be quiet.
And so my message to them is to stop. To stop.
Super fun show today. Erica has gone off on conspiracy theorists. It's about me. It's indirect, but it's also about me.
And you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this. No.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing right there is frustrating. And I'm going to explain to you why I just do not accept any of that. What you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic. And it's a no from me.
The podcaster Candace Owens, she is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her? Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Please stop. Please stop lying. I understand. I comprehend. What I don't comprehend is what I've lied about. Because she's a widow, we can't question her judgment. And I want to say that I reject that. I reject emotional manipulation.
We were told that if we said stop, they would stop. And we said stop. And I'll say it again. Please stop.
I am starting to work through some of the questions that people have about her background. She was brought in as his handler to move him in that direction. She had him starry-eyed and wrapped around her finger. I can assert that I feel completely comfortable that saying or stating clearly that Erica is definitively aware and familiar with the Fort Huachuca base, intel base, because once upon a time she shot a teaser for a short film there or around there.
The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is what it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax. No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy, probably working with Israel.
Honestly, this is a time where it is appropriate to say this.
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Agree. I watched clips. Just stop.
All right. Good little commercial break. Take a little commercial break right there.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
good.
How
Shout out to
wild
Milk
is
Bar.
it? Shout out to Milk Bar TV. If you don't follow Milk
Mhm.
Bar, the mods have already dropped Milk Bar's link in the chat. Please make sure you go check out what Nathan does over there. He's doing the Lord's work over there. He's doing
Yeah,
doing
we
a
love
great
him.
job. All right, thank you so much. Real quick, I want to say thank you to everybody. There's about 887 people that are tapped up in here. Let's see, Lady Luck Club. You got the peoples up in the building. You got the folk up in here. They coming up in here.
Hey,
shout out to
all of you all. Hit that like button.
You even got your cousin up in here with the $10 saying big ups to you, Lady Luck. Shout out to you for sure. Thank you so much, Star Scorpio 1. And I appreciate the 10 myself. Shout out from Toronto, Canada. Because of that clown, Candace, one good thing came out of it. It led me to the J Witt and the Lady Luck Club, Bronson and Paramount Tactical, Storybox and Artie Trolls. Good gracious. Both sides, Mira K and more. Shout out to them all, man. Well, thank you, man. Welcome to the party, man. And then, of course, thank you, Craftsman, with the 10. Candace used 2013 for Erica movie thing as proof that she's being at Fort in 2025. And another thing I thought about.
What's up?
That doesn't mean that she shot the video there.
Right.
No, I can't shot the video. No, I mean, following that logic. Hold on.
Exactly.
This is the same logic we've been arguing about just because he was in Delaware. Yep. Right. You can't say, hey, you got to prove that she's in Delaware. I mean, in Fort Wakachua or
Wakachua.
Yeah, walk like an Egyptian. So anyway, let's keep this going. Candace's logic, she can be guilty for being in Delaware at a top point in history. Maybe her ancestry counts. Also, great point, man. Thank you so much for the 10. And you're right on the nose, man.
Yep.
Her ideology and her thought process is going to have to be studied by science. So let's bring this back up in here. All right. We're moving through here. What we're doing is just going through Candace's response to the Macrons and Candace's reasoning rationale for why this case needs to be yeeted out of the Delaware court. Y'all see how I did that word?
Yeet.
I'm in tune with Gen Alpha. I'm in tune with them. I know what's going on. I know what's happening up in here. I'm here with the kids. Let's go. That Owens post and statements are accessible from Delaware, or that purchases from Delaware are not prohibited, does not support personal jurisdiction.
I think it was.
I still don't feel like they made the argument.
Like, it's not making an argument.
Go ahead.
At all. I was just saying they're not making an argument at all here. They're talking about something not being prohibited. Her posted statements are done on an electronic platform that is interstate. It crosses state lines either way, but you can't say that it is just not affecting, residents there, or no one in Delaware is not consuming it. It comes down to that. Her LLCs is benefiting, from the revenue generated from it. That's the problem.
I agree 1,000%. So let's keep this going. Mm-hmm. Holdings knowledge that its website may be viewed in Delaware or accessed by Delaware residents is not sufficient to establish jurisdiction under section blah, 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 Kane versus Kaufman. I think one of the small problems is that's not the only issue, though.
Right.
And I don't know. I feel like they're missing either A, we're missing it, or B, they're missing the actual problem, which is this content and the business was formed in Delaware. But I digress.
Right.
And internet posting made from outside of the state and received by a party inside the state also fails to provide sufficient minimum contacts to allow the court to exercise jurisdiction. And I can actually agree with that. I understand that. I don't think the issue is that just because somebody consumed your content in Delaware, that's the reason why they have jurisdiction over you. I think the problem is you formed your business in Delaware for benefit and for a reason. And because of that, because you reap benefits from it, you also stand to reap the disadvantages of being in Delaware. And this is one of those disadvantages.
Right. And why are they trying to, make an argument about a failure to provide sufficient minimum context. What does the context have to do? Like, who's to say how many people are being affected here?
Yeah,
So I don't even see why they even phrase it that way. That to me, it's just like it's once again, it's like a moot point. They can't prove how many people are absorbing this content. What does it mean to provide sufficient minimum context here?
I have no idea.
That's
And what is the
insane.
minimum? Well,
Right.
what is the minimum?
Is it 50, 100? Like,
I
you know,
guess
you
you can look
can't
at our
prove that.
analytics. You can look at our analytics and see if anybody's,
You
in
break it down by
YouTube
state.
particularly, I don't know about others. I'm saying, but
Right.
on YouTube, you can search the analytics and see where your viewers are coming from. I guess you can get down into like the state by state. I know you can look at the United States as a whole, but
Right.
this just seems like what is your purpose in this argument? Plaintiff does not allege defendant was ever physically present in Delaware, let alone that the Facebook posts were posted while the defendant was in Delaware. There's no evidence that the defendants ever acted in Delaware. I don't think that's the only reason.
You're saying that, but it's like,
Yeah,
once
you're
again,
saying
that
that.
argument can go back and forth. Who says that she was never in Delaware when she made these posts or did these videos? They're not like, if that's what they're trying to get down to, then you're talking about having to prove that she was physically located.
Mhm.
As if electronics can't tell on her, like cameras and her cell phone pings and stuff like that. And like, but do they need to establish that in order for the court to have jurisdiction? No, it's not the only way to establish jurisdiction when it comes to her individually. Like, this is ridiculous. They're saying you got to be in this state to send this Facebook post. No, you don't. If you're making the argument, you got to consume it in the state of Delaware. Why do you have to be in the state of Delaware when you send the post? That's crazy.
See, and maybe we're also, to me, I'm looking at the formation of the business. That's the only issue, really. What your company does is not my argument by a mile. I'm just like, well, your business is formed in Delaware. You're reaping the benefit of it. There are consequences as well, and these are one of those. So we're on the find out aspect of the equation. So you formed in Delaware, and now you're going to find out the benefit of it or the lack of benefit of it. And that's that's where I'm at. So I'm not really arguing, and I don't know why we're arguing about whether or not what they did was there. I'm like, this is where your company was formed. And it just seems like
the judge is going to say.
Right. That's why I don't think this is going to make it. Again, I'm not a legal expert by any measure. It just doesn't seem to make sense why reap the benefits of being in Delaware if you're not going to also run the risk of the consequences. If Delaware became an unfavorable state for LLCs, would you just stay there? Or would you move to, let's just say that Montana became the LLC haven. Would you be moving to Montana, or would you stay in Delaware when Delaware became non-favorable for LLCs? I think we all know you probably would go to Montana. So what are we doing?
Right. Yeah, I don't. This is crazy. She has LLC registered there and in other states too. So it would be, I guess, the same argument they will make it depending on no matter where they are. It seems like they would just make this argument regardless.
I do agree. I think if this argument had been in Montana, they had sued her in Tennessee, I think they would probably make some very similar argument.
Yeah.
They probably would argue a little bit different and say that, hey, it's somebody said it's on the World Wide Web. Somebody would probably argue like it's on the World Wide Web. And that's probably what they would say. I can almost see it.
No, it's not coming to the U.S. It's going to Australia. They banned her from there.
Right. I mean, sadly, the incursions happen, so we can't see all the different formations and ideas and possibilities of the multiverse. Darn it. I wish we could do that, but we can't. So we just have to just assume this.
Very good.
The mere
these branches of these timelines and something.
Right. The timelines are going all over the place, man. Crisis on Infinite Earths. The mere ability to access the posting from one's computer does not confer personal jurisdiction.
You can't make this up.
For example, recently rejected jurisdiction for defamation claims based on a press release published in Delaware category of a website because defendants must be physically present in Delaware while making defamatory statements to support jurisdiction. I just wonder what this, and we'd have to look into this one specifically.
I would have to read. I would have to like see the summary on this case law here.
Right? Is
Oh
it
my God.
are one of these companies?
Cytotherics Inc. v. Castle
Yeah.
Creek. So they're saying that recently rejected jurisdiction for defamation. So the defendant probably filed the motion to dismiss based on that, and it was granted. It seems like
That's what I'm
because
thinking.
the press release published in Delaware in the Delaware category of a website. But you're talking about a category of a website that's probably hosted by the defendant itself, because defendants must be physically present.
Yeah, I don't get that
That's some
part.
other factors in that could have warranted that type of jurisdiction to be rejected. But we don't know if the co-defendant, if the defendant itself created the website and they did just have a Delaware sector. Like there's some nuances to that in that case that might not even apply here. So I don't know. They just kind of taking a blanket summary out of it, and they're not really giving all of the nuances that go with it.
I agree 100%. Okay, let's keep going. All right.
Okay.
Let's see where we're at. Owens was not in Delaware when the statements were made, nor do plaintiffs allege that any Delaware resident was defamed. Okay. Again, that's not what they're arguing.
Not at all.
You want to go with 3?
Yeah. Plaintiffs' agency allegations do not change the analysis. For the first time, plaintiffs now assert the entity defendants are agents of Owens. Yet in Delaware, a plaintiff has the burden to plead facts establishing a court's personal jurisdiction in its complaint. And in a cited case law, also Delaware Superior, September 26, 2025, and a party cannot amend his pleading through briefing a motion to dismiss. And case law cited, plaintiffs made no agency allegations in their amended complaint, and the court should reject their attempt to do so through briefing. Okay, so they're saying that this was not cited in the actual amended complaint itself. So why are they bringing it up in the briefing? It could have been brought up as just a supporting argument. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
I
Yeah,
haven't
that's a
read
good-
it. I don't even recall. Like, I don't have the complaint remembered off the top of my head, so I would have to read back through that.
I love it. Okay.
Plaintiffs
Go ahead.
agency okay, I'm sorry. Plaintiffs agency argument also fails substantively. Even if the entity defendants were Owens' agents, they still cannot subject Owens to jurisdiction here. Once again, they're still trying to separate her, the individual, from the two entities. And then they have case law cited and state as theories of indirect jurisdiction. The underlying question on both theories is whether the subsidiary's action satisfies Statute 3104 of the long arm statute. Once again, I'm not even familiar with that statute to be able to give opinion on that. Further, plaintiffs have failed to establish agency. Establish a corporation was acting as the director's agent or alter ego is tantamount to piercing the corporate veil. And then a citing case law here, the state, none of plaintiffs' allegations supports such a finding. So do the plaintiffs have to establish the agency or define what the agency would be in this particular complaint? I guess that would be my question.
Yeah, and I think to me it's almost like they're arguing side quests when the major
Right.
quest is, to me, whether or not, and I've already said this ad nauseum, they started the company in Delaware. You reap the benefits. You also have to deal with the consequences. That's it. And I don't
Right.
know if there's all these other side quests about whether or not the entities are employees or agents thereof, all that kind of stuff like that. Whether or not you sent the text from Delaware Airport or you at the Starbucks when you sent this tweet out. To me, those are just moot points, really. I think the bigger issue is you could just settle it like, no, you get the benefits, you reap the rewards or the
Right.
consequences of that action. That's it.
Yeah.
I think all the rest
Yeah.
of it is moot, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's so much fluff here. And the case law, somebody asked, how do they remember case law? I'm gonna be honest, they don't. They have to look these things up based on each point they're making. They're looking up case law to support that point. So for each argument, then that's why you have several case laws cited in one paragraph like this. You see Microsoft Corp versus
Yeah.
Amphas Inc. Then you see this C. Fitzgerald v. Cantor, because they're trying to support each argument being made with case law. And they're only citing the portion of case law that fits their point, but they're not actually giving the synopsis of the factors that may have led to these certain statements made or certain rulings given in that particular case law either. So it still leaves you kind of halfway confused on what does this case law have to do with the point you're making? Like that's
a good
what
point.
comes out to me. It's just not even connecting well in their actual brief here. But the judge definitely will be able to read this differently because he went to law school and I didn't.
Well, no question about it. And I think we just wanted to read through this. We did ask a few lawyers to come through. It wasn't tenable for them to make it through, so it's okay. But we just want to read this just as your average Joe and Jane and see if it made sense to us. Not saying that we're making a legal judgment. The judge might come back and go in a totally different direction and do something that we didn't even foresee happening. So that was it. But all right, let's go. Rejecting agency theory, where allegations in no way support finding that Cantor or Fisher consented to have MDC act on their behalf in the sense of the principal agent relationship, and noting that the corporation is not the agent of a person who can direct its conduct because she holds a majority of his voting shares in stock. Likewise, a corporation, I already know what this problem is already. Likewise, a corporation is not the agent of a person who can direct its conduct because of its position as chief executive officer of that corporation.
Oh, dear God, they're doing this.
Yeah.
I see what they're doing.
You want to take it apart?
So what they're saying is there is a registered agent to the LLC itself. And that registered agent sounds like that they have more of the control of the business of that LLC, while Candace is just the figurehead. And simply because she is the figurehead does not mean she makes the day-to-day decisions, even though she owns it. You know, she's the boss lady. Candace, I thought you were the boss, you alien. You can't make this stuff up. So now they're saying the registered agent is the one that makes the business transactions. They're the ones that actually makes the day-to-day decisions. Candace being the alien face, White Walkers, that we're all sitting here looking at, you know, in these videos and stuff, and she does the actual show. You know, how would that, if the registered agent was doing the shows, would it be as successful and would she be making the money? That's what it comes down to here. The registered agent has nothing to do with this.
It has nothing at all.
A moot. Like this person is just the registered agent for the LLC. That doesn't mean that the registered agent has the authority to determine whether or not Candace should be putting out an 8-part series about Brigitte Macron being born a man. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, that one's going to be to me, you shouldn't have done that. I know you were trying to fill in some pages. That one right there, you shouldn't have done. Because if you're trying to say that the registered agent is the one that really drives the show, and we've never seen that registered agent on channel, you're going to have to prove that the registered agent, which by the way is in Delaware, was controlling Candace in Tennessee. You should not have done that one, unless there's something I'm missing to this. You really should not have done that one. You should let that one.
I'm just going based on what we're reading word for word in this literal translation. It sounds like they're saying she's not the registered agent for this entity. Let's take out the registered agent, she's still responsible for her actions in those defamatory statements.
Yeah, because all they're gonna do is show clips of her speaking, her tweeting, her railing off on Instagram lives, and that's it. They're not gonna. They'll probably say like, we don't know where the registered agent is. Maybe the registered agent is moving her mouth like a puppet, but the registered agent is not the one that's doing this. It's Candace.
Oh my God. They're really going there. This is something else.
Yeah, I don't know who the registered agent is, but they're using that. Yeah, that was that was definitely not the best look.
Not at all. It's like,
All
oh,
right.
it's not her fault. It's the registered agent's fault for the LLC.
Yeah, that's
Blame that
wild.
person. God. All right.
All right. The Macrons do not allege Owens consented to the entity defendants acting on her behalf in a principal agent relationship.
Lord have mercy.
Moreover, the mere fact that Owens directs these entities does not make them her agents.
God.
They're just introducing new things now. They're just throwing out new
Exactly.
concepts at this point. I don't think
They're
anybody
throwing some
said that
good
except
off.
y'all.
Yeah. No. Is it necessary to establish jurisdiction? I think they're so incompetent with like let's ensure this gets dismissed on the grounds of lack of jurisdiction, that we're even going to just blame all of this on your registered agent for the LLCs, and
That's
that
crazy.
those should be separated from Candace Owens, the person, and she shouldn't be held accountable for what happens through her LLCs. The registered agent should be. What do you mean?
I have no idea.
The judge is gonna be so bad.
I cannot wait. Hopefully the judge will come back this week on this.
Oh man. Yeah.
I really hope so, because this is like, I really want to hear what he has to say about this.
Me
This
too.
doesn't make sense. Okay. Moreover, the mere fact that Owens direct, I just read that already. Even if the entity defendants were Owens agents, plaintiffs do not allege a single act in Delaware as required by both sections 3104 1 and 3104 3. This contrasts sharply with Couples and Montclair Corp, and I'm not gonna read all that. Yeah, where the contacts with the state were numerous and purposeful. Okay. I'm like,
Good job.
yeah, I got you.
Alrighty.
I don't agree with you.
Uh,
All right, go ahead and hit this number 4.
All right. This court may not consider plaintiffs' alter ego arguments. Plaintiffs claim they can satisfy the long arm stick by showing that an individual is the alter ego of a Delaware entity with significant contact with the state. And this is opposition number 18. This argument fails because the Delaware Court of Chancery has sole subject matter jurisdiction over actions to pierce the corporate veil. This court cannot properly exercise personal jurisdiction under any alter ego theory. And in their citing case law here, this court lacks jurisdiction to consider plaintiff's alter ego theory, to which I don't recall. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't recall this in the amended complaint, but
I don't think they
maybe this is the argument
ego.
they're gonna use. Yeah, what are gonna make this argument in court? Is that like, when is the hearing so they can make these arguments in court? We can actually understand what they're trying to say here.
Manager consent jurisdiction sounds just like, to me, I think they're about to, I don't remember. The Macrons are not making these arguments. It's almost like they're making new arguments on behalf of the Macrons, and they're not making those arguments.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to cover their bases with defenses that have not been really, or they have the arguments been made for them to have to feel like they need to defend themselves in this. Like, when did this come about? If they can, the alter ego, theory. Okay,
dude, that's crazy work.
If her alter ego is coming through these LLCs and then it's still being defamatory, somebody's got to be held accountable because she make money off of being defamatory.
I don't understand. Yeah, this is a very interesting theory. Plaintiff section 18109 arguments fail for 5 reasons. Oh my gosh, for 5 reasons. Whew. All right. You take the odd ones, I'll take the even ones.
All right, odd one first. Plaintiffs concede their failure to effect service under section 18-109, defeating their jurisdictional argument from the start. And this is from opposition 24 to 25, opposition brief 13 to 14.
All right. Second, plaintiff's cite has out and Taozang Ting 134A.3D 274 in Delaware 2016 to no avail, as has out concerns a different statute.
I don't remember that. Third, plaintiffs do not explain or allege how their claims deal with the internal affairs of Candace Owens LLC. Would they need to?
What would be
The
the
money
internal
comes through
affairs? Like,
the money comes through there, so that's where the revenue is generated through. So, are they in a position to say, Candace Owens LLC, has some sort of structure that would allow the plaintiffs to say their claim is related to the business and how they function within LLC, Candace Owens LLC. Does it even have a structure, an internal affairs, structuring for that to occur? Like their
right.
claims deal with her making defamatory statements and making money, which flows through the LLC. So what more do they need to establish with this here? They would have to
So
know the inner workings of her LLC.
I feel like they're trying to bury the very obvious problem. Candace Owens said these things. Candace Owens cannot get around that. So they're introducing new ideas like, you don't know the business structure and the registered agent and this, that, and the other. They're trying to bury it under all of this other malarkey. And I've not heard the Macrons arguing those things.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Not at
So,
all.
yeah. Plaintiffs do not explain or allege how Owens made purportedly defamatory statements in her formal capacity as a manager of Candace Owens LLC. Like, she literally does a podcast. Like, all they're going to do is just pull up content. Like,
to say that she did this in her formal capacity, whenever she does her podcast, isn't she in her formal capacity?
like what does that mean?
Individually, she's as herself and also representing the CEO of Candace Owens LLC. There's no other CEO. There's no other figurehead for her LLC.
There's no other talent.
Are they saying
There's
that
no
she can't be two things at once? Maybe it's just that the alter ego theory they're talking about here. You can't say that she can be in her personal individual capacity as well as this, alter ego formal capacity as manager of the Candace Owens LLC. Is that what they're trying to say? She can't be both?
But she's literally the talent. She is everything. I'm the CEO and the manager and the producer, sometimes the editor, hardly the guy that makes good coffee of Whitaker Media. Like that's what I do. So as much as I want to say like, well, you don't know the alter ego, a fool is you. So be quiet. It's you. Like
Candace got 18 voices in her head.
Like, just pick one. I don't know who he is. I don't know who Jason is. Jay Witt, who's that? I don't know who he is. It's you, dummy. Stop
Your Honor, our client is here representing herself in her individual capacity. Right. She has no alter ego, and she does not represent the figurehead of Candace Owens LLC, unless it's just convenient and it's time for her to file her taxes. How's this going to go in court?
Yeah, I don't think this. Again, I could be wrong. I could be 1,000% wrong. I just don't see how this is gonna fly in court. Go ahead with fifth. Keep this moving.
All right, let's go. Plaintiffs cannot distinguish well-settled law in this area, and they have case law cited. Rule that claims fall outside the scope of sections 18-109, where they do not relate to the rights, duties, and responsibilities the defendant owes to the LLC or any other way to the internal business affairs of the LLC or to the running of the LLC's day-to-day operations. Who would know that? Like, the plaintiffs would have to be able to describe that day-to-day operations of Candace Owens LLC to say, here's how my defamation case relates to the operations of her LLC.
Yeah, I don't.
This is ridiculous. Oh God. Similarly,
I'm wondering. Like I said, I just think that they're just trying to bury the most obvious truth. You formed your LLC in Delaware. You reap the benefits. You reap the consequences. To me, that's the most simplest. And you have a digital online business. So it's not like you start an LLC, but you you make, car bumpers or something in New Mexico, but you got your LLC in Delaware. Maybe we could have a conversation because you have a physical product that you sell out of New Mexico, right?
Right.
However, this right here, like you have a digital product, and
And
you're
then
shipping, and it's yeah. Again, I just don't see how. I feel like they're burying. Again, I use the example. I feel like they're just burying the obvious so that the judge will just get tired and just say, "Get out of here," because I don't want to see you anymore. I just don't think that's going to happen.
and then they say, the plaintiffs cannot distinguish well settled law. Like, if they have case law they can't present, then the judge is going to permit them to make an argument on it. I mean, it is what it is. To say there's no well settled law in this area. Well, let's say that there's case law that might not be, the most popular, but maybe it's a newer case, and it was just decided upon. Whether or not has been cited in the past, and well settled being that, this is case law that is commonly used and is kind of well known, and the court will be familiar with, doesn't mean that they can't still make an argument and present law that or
Correct.
case law that will support that argument. So whether it's well settled, I look at the terminology that they use throughout this as well, and it's like they're using specific terms that stick out to where they're saying, we're not saying there's no law, is it well settled? Like, because there is a difference, there's case law to support someone filing a lawsuit that was overseas against someone in a different country. Is it something that has been well established and well settled, and it's used and cited throughout other cases? Probably not, but it doesn't mean that it's not case law. And it doesn't mean that it's not, another scenario of where a court has made a decision and given a ruling in the case that has claims that are similar to this. So I don't know. It's like they're choosing to use this type of terminology to try to, be particular. It's like they're being nitpicky. Why?
Because
we're being
that's
nitpicky
all they
about
got.
law. Similarly, because
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I want to. I'm gonna do something different
Mhm.
because I like reading these cases, but I'm
Good job.
recognizing that we got 737 people in this chat, and
I know we can do a summary.
I do not want to assail these people, even though tomorrow's a federal holiday and lots of you all are going to be off, maybe taking down your Christmas tree or whatever, right? So I'm gonna make a judgment call.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop this.
All right.
I'm making a judgment call. Now, the reason I'm making a judgment call is because I want to bring up something that you talked about a moment ago that I think we'll find a lot better. I think we'll get a little more, we'll enjoy it a little bit more. In the chat, if you could, everybody in the chat, if you could, please put a yellow heart or a green heart if you would like to watch the lawsuit being, the cease and desist being filed against the Wolf of Finance.
Come on with their hearts.
I did that one this morning. I would gladly go over it again because I thought it was really good. Somebody said body cam bingo.
Yes.
Somebody said body cam bingo. We got body cam bingo. We'll save that one. That for sure. All right.
And yes. I haven't seen the Wolves of Finance, but I'm so glad he caught it.
You haven't
I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen them. That's why I was like, oh, please play those videos because I haven't seen them yet. I haven't been able to. Nick Brooks did a new video today. Like,
you know what? Nick did do a video. Hold on.
God,
Let's do Nick's video real quick. Let me do his first. Yes, we will
do y'all them hearts. Come on.
Come on, get the hearts up in here. Fill it up full of hearts. Don't be playing no games. Yay. Let me get Nick up in here because Nick did do a video. You're right. It says Nick couldn't be here. This is like Nick's way of being here, but not really. Nick is here. Nick is here in spirit.
I'm good with it. I know. I love Nick Brooks.
Yeah. So, all right. While we're watching, so we're going to take a commercial break, a station identification, and then we'll do the Wolf of Finance. I didn't realize you hadn't seen that.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I was live on my second channel, and I saw you drop the video, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And they sent the cease and desist. This is such good news. Yeah, I've been I've been the one screaming and hollering in the microphone. When is TPUSA gonna sue?
Well,
Oh, this is the
I'm gonna
first
tell you
step.
right
I
now,
love it. Let's go.
TPUSA is
They're fed up.
yeah, they're suing. They're suing.
Oh yes,
But
Lord.
I don't think that this needs to be a lawsuit for Wolfle Finance. I'll explain in this. I'll explain, but let's bring Nick in. Shout out to Nick. All right,
Hi,
here we go.
Nick.
I'm Nick Brooks, a California attorney, and today we're digging into McCrone v. Owens now that I finally have all the moving papers on Candace Owens' motion to dismiss. This is about jurisdiction, time limits, and whether she can avoid discovery entirely. French President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron sued Candace Owens in Delaware over her Becoming Brigitte series and related posts. They say she pushed wild claims about Brigitte's identity, their marriage, and their integrity, all to drive attention and profit. Procedurally, here's where we are. The Macrons filed a complaint, then an amended complaint with more detail. Owens responded by filing a motion to dismiss the amended complaint, supported by a detailed brief. The Macrons then filed an opposition to that motion, and Owens followed up with a reply brief. That full motion to dismiss package, motion, opposition, and reply is what we're analyzing today. The amended complaint says Owens told her audience that Brigitte was actually born male, that she's in fact her older brother, Jean-Michel Treneau, using a stolen identity, and that the Macrons committed identity theft, fraud, even incest, all tied to CIA-style MKUltra conspiracies and violence against journalists. The Macrons allege those claims are categorically false. In her motion, Owens asked the Delaware court to dismiss her personally for lack of jurisdiction, strike parts of the amended complaint as improper, declare the claims time-barred under a French 3-month deadline, and kick the case out of Delaware on forum nonconvenience, arguing France, or at least her home base in Tennessee, are more appropriate forums. Owens also wraps this in First Amendment language, casting herself as an independent journalist, giving opinionated political commentary about public figures. The message to the court is this: this is not just about defamation. It's an attempt by foreign leaders to punish American speech. Before Delaware can touch the merits of this case, it has to clear a threshold issue. Does this court even have the power to make Candace Owens show up here at all because she is a named defendant? That's personal jurisdiction, and it comes down to two flavors, general and specific. Let's start with general jurisdiction. That's the at-home rule. You can be sued there for almost anything, and for a person, that's basically their domicile. Owens is domiciled in Tennessee, not Delaware, so the Macrons almost certainly cannot get general jurisdiction over her in Delaware. That knocks out the sewer for anything here box and forces everyone into the second box, specific jurisdiction, which is case by case. So now the question changes. We're no longer asking, is Owens at home in Delaware? Instead, we're asking, did she create enough Delaware-based contacts tied to this case that it's fair to drag her into this particular lawsuit here? That's specific jurisdiction. Delaware's long-arm statute is the tool for that. It lets the court reach non-residents when the claims arise from business they do through Delaware entities or from torts that hit Delaware. The Macrons say that's exactly what happened here. Owens allegedly used 2 Delaware companies she manages to produce, publish, and monetize this defamatory content, including pushing it out through Delaware organized platforms and to Delaware listeners. In their view, this case arises from those Delaware contacts, so specific jurisdiction over Owens personally is fair game. Owens answers with this: my contacts are Tennessee-based. I live in Tennessee. I record there. I own no property in Delaware. And just forming Delaware entities or running a website there is not enough. She's basically saying this: even if my companies are in Delaware, my alleged defamation is personal speech from Nashville, not Delaware-focused conduct. The Macrons push back that Candace Owens LLC and Georgetown Inc. exist to distribute and monetize her content, that she is their manager and primary decision maker, and that the alleged defamation is the core business of those Delaware entities. So, they argue, their claims arise from or relate to her forum-based business choices, satisfying specific jurisdiction under both the long arm and Delaware's manager consent statutes. At this stage of litigation, the judge can accept the Macron's allegations as true and reasonably find specific jurisdiction. Using Delaware entities as the vehicle to publish and monetize allegedly defamatory content is a strong hook for Delaware's consent to jurisdiction framework, even if Owens never set foot in Delaware. Owens' stronger play is timing. Delaware has a borrowing statute that sometimes uses another place's statute of limitations instead of Delaware's. The idea is this: if most of the injury happened somewhere else, you do not get a longer deadline just by filing in Delaware. Owens says the Macrons felt the biggest hit in France, politically and socially, so France's 3-month defamation period should apply and knock out a lot of claims. The Macrons say that rule doesn't either fit this case at all, or if it does, it should look at Tennessee's longer deadline instead, because that's where Owens was when she created and posted this content. In her reply, Owens tries to flip that and say the Macrons are basically admitting Tennessee is the proper forum. That's a stretch. Pointing to Tennessee for which deadline applies does not mean you've agreed Delaware courts cannot hear the case, especially when the speech was created in the United States using Delaware companies she chose. On forum nonconvenience, Owens argues France is the natural forum, French plaintiffs, alleged French harm, French witnesses, and that Delaware has almost nothing to do with her life compared to Tennessee. She's basically telling the judge this dispute belongs either in France or in her backyard, Tennessee, but not in a Delaware courtroom. But the actual acts Owens is being sued over, writing, recording, and uploading the content, happened in the United States through Delaware companies she chose. If the Macrons really refiled in France, Owens would almost certainly argue not just bias, but that venue is wrong because the conduct occurred in the United States. Realistically, she's trying to get out of Delaware and closer to Tennessee, but her Delaware entities make that much harder. Owens also goes after the amended complaint itself, arguing the Macrons smuggled in new, post-filing episodes without getting the court's permission first. Even if the judge agreed with her on that technical point, the usual fix in civil practice is not game over, it's leave to amend or file a proper supplemental complaint under the correct rule. That gives the court a very middle-of-the-road option. Trim or repackage some later allegations, require the Macrons to replead them correctly, and still let the core defamation case move forward, instead of using this as a reason to kill the lawsuit outright. If the court denies outright dismissal or even orders a targeted jurisdictional discovery, Owens will likely have to produce operating agreements, internal communications, and revenue information. That could show how deliberately she used her Delaware entities to amplify or monetize these claims, which is exactly the story her motion seems designed to avoid. Here's my prediction. The court is more likely than not to find specific personal jurisdiction over Owens and her entities, and to keep the case in Delaware rather than to send it somewhere else. The real vulnerability is the limitations issue. Some claims may be trimmed as time barred, but a total win for Owens at the motion to dismiss stage is unlikely. If you found this video helpful, please hit like so more people see it. Before you go, tell me in the comments, should the Macrons have brought this fight in Delaware, or should this case be happening in France or Tennessee instead? Where do you think this case belongs, and why? If someone you know follows Candace Owens or works in media, politics, or defamation law, send this video to them so they can see where the legal line really is. And if you want more breakdowns like this from a California attorney, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next episode. Thank you very much.
Shout out to our brother Nick.
Nice,
I
Nick.
always appreciate him. Even though he didn't make it through tonight, we wanted him to come through tonight.
Well
but he didn't come
done.
through.
I know.
All right.
Awesome,
so-
awesome. I love his breakdowns. I have so
Absolutely.
many other videos I got to catch up on. So yes, Candace is losing it over there on Twitter X. Ugh.
Oh, she losing it again tonight?
Man.
She
Oh, they
stay-
getting
she
these
stay
letters,
mad.
honey.
She
Child,
stay mad.
I'm wondering why it took so long for them to finally send these letters to these folks, because they won't stop. Wills of Finance, he got it coming. He said flat out that they're somehow financially corrupt at TPUSA, and money was being misappropriated because he couldn't see the tax documents that they were granted an extension to file to the IRS in time, I guess, before his video dropped. So, and then he went out and tried to double down on other accusations with no evidence. Like, you can't accuse a company of financially, doing something unlawful or misappropriating funds, and you don't have that concrete evidence to support it. Like, it's just ridiculous. They're a nonprofit. It is what it is.
It is. All right. I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna let you control this one, because you're gonna want to stop in places maybe I don't want to stop, or you just trust me to stop. Because I've already seen it.
No, you go ahead and play it.
Okay, you good? Okay. So shout out to the best live
Yeah.
chat on the internet and the most electrifying comment section. If you all would please make sure that you have already gone ahead and you subscribe to Lady Luck Club. You've already given her those yellow hearts. So subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the J-Whip podcast and become a part of the best live chat on the internet. Let's go ahead and let's get funky. Let's get active. The Wolf of Finance, he has inserted himself into the TPUSA shenanigans, and you mess around, you fool around, you find out. So with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, and you can feel free, Lady Luck, just to say, hey, Jason, stop right there. It's perfectly fine. Again, like I said, I've seen this already. Shout out to it. Let's get at it. Let's go. Green hearts in the chat where you can hear.
This week, I received a letter from Turning Point titled Demand to Cease and Desist Defamatory Comments. This is the first step when someone sues you for defamation.
Yep.
I know there are a lot of people out there making videos about Turning Point, so you should pay attention to this. They have started sending out cease and desist letters, and for some reason, they've decided to start with me. Apparently, they cannot.
Let me tell you something, Wolves of Finance. They're starting with you because you make accusatory statements and allegations about their financial situation with no evidence, and then try to go out to some place. I guess he was supposed to be boots on the ground, talking about a mailing address and how they should not have been investing in the stock market with TP endowment, but they didn't look up what an endowment was because I had to do a debunking video on that. And he failed to just give basic fundamental information intentionally so that he could prove his dumb point, where an endowment is established to be able to be used as an investment account. So you can put money in it, the base principal, the base amount of that 10 million you put in there, it stays there while you invest in like the stock market. And then you generate that return on investment. And then you take that money, put it back into TPUSA, and then use that to cover your expenses. That's how endowments work. He didn't even go over the various types of endowments you can have. None of that. I had to do some research, did a video on it to put him and Candace to shame on this TP endowment because he lied so bad. And you can tell it was horrible.
Let me stop you.
Hell froze over. It was horrible.
Let me stop you for a second. I hate to say it. This is going to be so surfacey, Lady Luck. You just spent all that time and he doesn't even address that problem. This is going to be so surfacey. But this is what I just want to point out. He doesn't know that he's the first one that's been sued, or I'm sorry, that's being told to stop. Yeah. He doesn't know that. And in a moment, he's going to try to sell us that he is just a small content creator. And I'm going to back up just a little smidgen.
No,
he's a small content creator. Yeah, he's going to do that argument. So let's let him go. Here we go. Shout out to the 800 that are in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's go.
Apparently, they cannot handle the criticism from my teeny tiny YouTube channel.
Okay, hold on real quick, because I didn't do that this morning. Let me show you what a teeny tiny YouTube channel looks like. Hold on.
Look at him.
That's a teeny tiny YouTube channel. I don't want to show my teeny tiny channel. You want me to show your teeny tiny channel, Lady Luck?
Show mine. It's 30,200 something. I bless God for every last one, but it's not 359,000.
Yeah, like if that's teeny tiny, then sir, everybody would be happy with that teeny tiny. Now, granted, on YouTube they still consider 500,000 a small channel, but I think we got my point. Let's finish up. Let's go.
Ciao.
This letter is showing the world the type of organization Turning Point has become under Erica Kirk.
So yeah, let me also point out, why is he not going to? I think it would be really interesting if he had actually let us see this letter. We're not going to
read it.
Right, let us read it ourselves. Like he doesn't. And let me double check, because this morning he had not. Let me just check.
Show us the letter, Wolves.
Yeah, there's no link to the letter or anything like that. There's no PDF file that we can see.
So
yeah, he's gonna be upset, but let's keep it going. Let's dance.
They want to send legal letters to small YouTube creators. So we're going to go through this letter. And by the way, if any of you know a good lawyer in Arizona that handles defamation cases, have them send me an email through my website because I'm looking for a lawyer.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Why does he just contact Candace? You know, that's your new bestie, bro. And have Candace, the White Walker, send you an attorney.
Well, beyond that, though, and I thought about it later on. He uses some very Candace-esque tactics. He's gonna try to make himself just like everybody else. In a moment, he's gonna show his social platform and how he's a small content creator. But at the end, he's gonna beg for money. He's gonna put out the 10 cup and ask for people to support him so he can pay for a lawyer. I'm like, sir, you do realize there's another option. There is a second option, and it is not to get sued. It is to do what they and just say, okay, fine. I disagree with you on this, but I don't want to get sued. I don't want to start no fight because I ain't got no time for that.
Exactly.
I don't waste my money. So you could say, you know what, I disagree with this, but I'm not gonna, I'm gonna just I'm just
gonna cease and desist. I'm gonna do what the letter's asking me to do. You're gonna get an attorney for them to tell you the same thing.
Right.
But then you're gonna put down that base, upfront costs. You got to pay them upfront.
Retainer. Yep.
The retainer fee. You finna pay a retainer fee for them to tell you the same thing when the White Walker and her cohorts that you're sitting here doing these videos for and getting all these thousands of views on somehow can't just send you an attorney. Tell her to give you one of her 3. She's got 3 on the Macron lawsuit. Wills and Finance. Just ask her for one of those.
So let me also ask another question I didn't ask this morning. This gentleman right here, he seems like an intelligent fellow. He wants me to believe that he's going to tell you that the cease and desist letter is scary. It's scary to receive a cease and desist letter because they're trying to sue you. He wants me to believe that he received this very scary cease and desist letter, and the very first thing he thought about doing was hopping up on this here internet, turning on his camera and talking about it, saying, big chestedly, I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna ready to fight it, rather than talk to an actual lawyer about it. So either one of 2 things happened. You did talk to a lawyer and they say, go ahead and go forward, or you didn't talk to a lawyer and you're just flying out here footloose and fancy free. Either one of those is pretty bad. But
yeah, I don't think he talks to a lawyer because I would have told him, dude, you don't even have to put on this suit and tie that you deliberately put on to do this video. Just go sit down somewhere and cease and desist.
Well, let's see what happens. Here it comes.
It states in the letter, Turning Point entities are not looking for litigation. Rather, their interest is in the truth and making sure the public record is accurate. So they are claiming they do not want to sue me. But I view this letter as a threat to sue, and I think any reasonable business person would do the same.
So I make the claim this morning.
A business person.
So Lady Luck, and anybody in the chat, by the way, feel free to jump in on this. Lady Luck, you are a parent. Am I correct?
Yes, I am.
Now,
2 boys.
If you've been a parent for, I'll go as far as say, if you've been a parent for 8 minutes, you've made the or else statement. Do this or else. Clean your room or else. Empty out the dishwasher, fold up your clothes, be home before the streetlights come on, or else. Now, the or else could be, you're grounded, you lose your phone, or it could be waistline management. It could be. I think it's fair to say, as a parent, I never wanted to, I don't relish in having to do waistline management, corporal punishment. Nobody wants to do that.
Not at all.
It's an option, though. You really do hope that the little person says, let me go here and clean my room up like my mom or dad said. Let me be obedient. Because I know what the or else means. And in my house, I don't make threats. We only make promises. Once Mr. Spanky is picked up, Mrs. Spanky doesn't get put down until he's done his job. So don't make me pick him up. Because if I pick him up, we got to get this thing done. So and the reason I bring that up is because this gentleman right here, this is some very childish thought process that they want to sue you. No, they're telling you, they're giving you the or else statement. Stop saying these things, make the corrections, or else.
Right.
Really that easy.
And it's that simple. Cease and desist. You're making statements that are provably false, and it's hurting our bottom line. And they have the right to defend their business and to defend their ability to generate revenue. He's sitting here saying an endowment should not be used to invest in the stock market when that is exactly what an endowment is designed to do. That is the purpose of it. Based on factual information he failed to Google. He could have just did a Google search. It was that simple. I didn't even have to think hard about this video I did about that. And it's like, why would you lie that bad on basic fundamental information? It made no sense. And he chose to put that video out. And then she doubled down by playing that video on her channel. So it got this extra exposure based on information. And Candace doesn't fact check to save her life because reading is not fundamental for her. So, of course, she's not going to fact check anything and actually look up what an endowment is. So she plays it and then reiterates, there's got to be some misappropriated funds. Where's this $8 million? And all these things. And in the meantime, neither one of them bothered to look up what an endowment is or due dates on tax filings for a 501c3 and to see that they got an actual, extension. This is what it comes down to. So these are the statements that he made that were factually incorrect. That they're saying, because you make those statements, you're bringing harm upon TPUSA. And Candace is sitting here telling people not to give donors, not to give contributions, not to send money because they're misappropriating it. And they're somehow lost $8 million, all because he did that video where he made that allegation with no facts. And they're like, no, we're not going to keep doing this. You're hurting our bottom line here. And they have the right to be able to do investments and to generate revenue. So he didn't say any of this stuff when Charlie Kirk was alive. Where was he at when Charlie Kirk was alive?
Well, he also doesn't say, he actually doesn't argue that point. That's not an argument. He's not going to talk about the endowment at all, actually. But I want you to hear. Yeah, I want you to go here. But I just think it was adorable that he's running to this. Oh, they're trying to hurt. They want to sue me. No, they're literally saying they don't want to sue you. And they're going to give you reasons and ways that he cannot be sued, which is kind of crazy. But let us go. Continue.
A cease and desist letter is the first step towards a defamation lawsuit.
But it can also be the last step. It can be the only step. You do realize that, my dude. Right. If you clean your room, little Tommy, if you're in the house before the streetlights come on, little Sally, guess what? Right? The or else never happens.
Exactly.
It never happens.
Junior never cleaned his room.
Well, there you go. He got the or else ministry. He got it through revelation or tribulation. But you don't have to have tribulation, sir. You can say, you know what? Let me go ahead and make this corrections. Well, because later on he's going to get real snarky in a minute about some of his changes. So let's go.
I interpret this letter as Turning Point telling me to shut my mouth or they're going to sue me.
Oh, child.
I do not understand what Erica Kirk is doing. Out of the hundreds of people posting on social media about Turning Point, why are they targeting me?
Well, number one, you're assuming that you're only the one being targeted. So that's the first of many problems. Maybe the other people, they got the letter and they actually made the corrections and stopped. They said, look, I ain't got a letter. Well, in a moment, he's going to show.
White Walker got it.
He's going to show the letter. I do think you'll see in a minute when he shows it, I'll stop. But let me come back to that. But the problem is, sir, you're assuming that you're the only one that got it. You're assuming you're the first one that got it. You're making these assumptions and they're not there. You don't have the ability to make those assumptions. You're just the only dingbat that's jumped on camera to actually whine and bellyache about it. And now you're going to end up you on the fool around aspect of it. You're about to find out. You have an opportunity to say, I fooled around and let me stop. But if you don't, you're going to be on to find out. Here it comes.
Oh, wait.
Why are
that
they
freeze frame was epic.
Yeah, that was pretty killer.
I'm
pretty good with these. I don't even be trying.
White Walker ass comes through so cool, because it seems like all the ones that are sitting here trying to suck up the Candace Owens turn into White Walkers automatically. Candace, it must be that yeast infection coming through. Go ahead.
Worried about what I am saying that they're sending me legal letters. I am one of the smallest.
This is absolutely adorable that he pulls up his ex account, but he kind of overlooks. You don't
The
publish your
YouTube-
stuff on X. You publish your stuff on YouTube. So he's going to talk about his YouTube, but he doesn't show it. I just thought that was
Can't make
adorable.
this up.
YouTube channels in my market segment. Who do they think I am?
So and let me also just
A
point out
liar.
the size of your channel. Again, he's talking about he's the smallest segment of the YouTube channel, but he's showing his X
Right. It's X
profile,
account.
right. The size of your account is not the issue. That's not
Right.
the issue. The issue is
It's
whether or
the
not what you're
impact
saying
of
is
the infamous
defamatory.
statement.
Right.
Exactly. You making false statements that's having this huge impact that's hurting them and their revenue. It's that simple. Wait, who is this guy? What's his real name? This is ridiculous.
Zach something.
Oh, child, Zach needs some prayer and some suntan. Go ahead.
Yeah, he does. But I just think this is adorable. Let's keep it going. Let's go. Where'd it go? Ah, there it is. Let's go.
I'm a working accountant with a small YouTube channel. I have no money.
So let's stop real quick. I know I keep stopping. I told you that you were going to stop, and look at me. So
Child.
right now, he said he's a working accountant with a small YouTube channel. So those are his two jobs at the current moment. In a moment, he's going to introduce a whole new job that's neither of those two things.
You gotta be kidding.
Nope. He's going to introduce a whole new job. He's a whole new genre of employment.
I have no power. I
Oh
have
my
no
God.
influence. I don't know how much money they think they're going to get from suing me. All I have is the truth.
You
And I'm not
have
going to stop
influence.
speaking.
Go ahead.
That's a lie. He has influence. The problem is that his 359,000 subscribers came because of his affiliation and alignment with Candace Owens, who's playing his videos on her channel. That's getting it more exposure. He probably had a boost in subs because of this. So to say I have no influence when Candace Owens is playing your crap, it's laughable. I mean, it's not just your direct influence. It's also the fact that your videos are being shared and watched by millions of people on someone else's platform too. It's still the same you in that same video. He doesn't morph into something else when she pulls his videos up. So what is he talking about? His is alter ego theory.
This is alter ego.
The white walker is coming through. Boy, these aliens are just, they won't stop invading our planet. We sick of it. Candace, ET phone home.
The truth because Erica Kirk doesn't like it. The one
That's a
good
lie.
thing about a lawsuit is that everything will be out in the open, and Turning Point will quickly find out that I have nothing to hide. The letter came from a lawyer named Paul Edgard Harold from South Bend, Indiana. It seems like this is Turning Point's lawyer. I looked him up, and I cannot find that he has been admitted to the State Bar of Arizona in order to practice law in Arizona. So I'm not exactly sure how he's going to sue me in Arizona, but maybe he's working with other lawyers.
Notice he's already gone to the idea. So he's the cease part is not in his repertoire. Like I need to stop playing with these people. That's not in his repertoire. So then he's going to get what he gets. He's not going to pitch a fit because he's already assuming a lawsuit. Like, you do realize there is another option. There is another option. You don't have to be sued.
And then his little weird behind refuses to, Google information. So anyone can send a cease and desist letter.
Yes.
You don't even have to be an attorney. And the attorney that sends it does not have to have a bar license to send you the letter. It could have been emailed to him. This is the thing. When it comes down to it, if he gets a complaint and a lawsuit filed, it would be the lawsuit will be filed, and the attorneys that represent TPUSA will be registered in the state where the lawsuit is filed.
Correct.
But just to send you a cease and desist letter, they don't have to be registered in that state. If it's their attorney that represents them, TPUSA could have sent the letter. It's that simple. What is wrong with him? He won't look up basic concepts. Just Google. What's his name? Zach? Zach needs to learn how to Google and read. This is ridiculous. You don't have to be exactly like the Candace, the Ewok alien. You don't have to be exactly like her. You could just at least Google, can an attorney hit me with a cease and desist letter if they're not registered to practice law in that state? It's that simple. Child, you can't make this up. They're gonna
Yeah.
mollywop him if he gets sued.
All right,
Okay, good.
let's keep this dance rolling. Let's go.
In the
Ooh,
letter,
child.
Okay.
they order me
All right, gonna stop right here.
Ooh, child. Look at this.
All right. Do you know why I think Candace has already received her defamation, her cease and desist letter?
Because they put her in it.
Mm-mm.
I mean, she's the one that's got him.
No, just looking at this letter right here, without any speculation or theorizing, just on this letter right here, there's a reason why I think she got a letter.
I would say because he's making these videos because of her, but I can't see on the side of the screen.
Nope.
What
It's
do
just
you
look at the
see?
date. He got this letter allegedly on
January 8th.
January 8th. January
10 days
6th is
ago.
when, well, January 6th is when she came back from Christmas break. And everybody noticed that, because we do a live stream every day, that she seemed very out of sorts. She just seemed angry with she just seemed really out of sorts. I really believe she got a letter before this.
Yeah.
And
I
the
believe so.
cease and desist letter was fired off. And maybe it was during Christmas break. I don't know. But I believe she got one before then. I don't think he was the first one to get one. I do think that she got one before then. That's just my speculation. I don't have any reason to, based upon information and belief, that's what I think happened. Because again, I can't see that he would be the biggest one. But because he came forward with it, she now jumps out on X, and she's right now talking about it's a bad idea that they are suing him, blah, blah, blah. But I think she's already got hers, and she's trying to figure out what to do with it. Hence why she pivoted and went into the multiverse of madness and started talking about string theory and collapsing timelines to kind of pivot off of this, because she really couldn't keep it going. That's my theory. But, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
This is something else. She is, Candace, you're going to get sued again, and it's going to be epic. And we're going to be here to do videos on all of it, because she won't stop. So how else do you put somebody in place? This is it. You have to let them know, listen, legally, I'm not playing with you. And this Zach guy here, he has made statements that were provably false. That's what he's not caring about. He keep on being like Candace Owens if you want to.
Right.
That's going to be the end result. That lawsuit. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's keep it dance going. Let's go.
2. Please confirm that you will publicly correct your false statements immediately. This is not what I was going to talk about this week, but Turning Point is demanding that I communicate their statements publicly. So here we go. They include a whole list of statements they claim are false that I have made in my videos about Turning Point. Now, I'm not interested in spreading false information. So I'm glad that Turning Point reached out to me, because if I said something wrong, I am happy to correct it. So let us go through the statements where they have a problem.
Go ahead, my friend.
I have a whole video where he said a lot of things wrong.
Yeah.
I literally have a video debunking. I reacted to his video where he said a bunch of things wrong and pulled up information in real time to show how he was wrong. Even for him, even if you're saying it's my opinion, it's how I feel, it's my belief, you're still asserting it as an actual affirmative allegation. Just because you're saying it's my opinion does not mean that you're not purporting it to be a fact. You purported it to be a fact. That's a difference. That's a problem here. You can't say that, oh, it's my opinion that they should not be investing in the stock market. But that's what an endowment is designed to do. So when he made these statements to where he knew that he was purporting this information to be a fact and didn't care about the damage and the consequence of it. And then to say, I believe $8 million is being misappropriated, but you can't follow the money and actually show how that's happening. That's the issue. When it comes to finances, it's easy to get the documentation to back up what you're saying and doing here. It shouldn't be left to your theory. You should be able to just show with documentation, with transactions, with receipts, when it comes to finances of where this $8 million is missing and going to. But when you cannot do that, to make a statement that is an allegation that $8 million is missing, That's not something you need to theorize. You either have the evidence to support it or you don't. It's that simple. So he's an accountant. Ooh, child, you suck, Zach. All right, go ahead.
Let's keep this dance going. Let's roll. Let's go.
You're going to want to hear this because some of these are wild. On November 16th, I posted a video called Bombshell, Did Turning Point USA Commit Fraud? They say these are false claims. Charlie Kirk ordered a
That's what he
style
did.
audit.
He made him his claims.
Okay, let's go. I'm sorry about that.
That was never conducted. Here is my first problem with this letter. They do not include the actual quote that I said in the video. This is a paraphrased statement of what I said, and they are saying that the paraphrased statement is a lie. You have to tell me exactly what I said that was supposedly a lie, and they do this through the whole letter. So my request to this lawyer in future letters, because I'm assuming there's going to be more, please include the actual quote that I said,
I guess so,
that I can respond.
I guess so.
You can't make this up, so he's not gonna stop.
Apparently not. He's
gonna get crying about. Why is he? He's a grown man doing this whole video whining about something, talking about you might even knowing attorneys out there. Just shut up. I mean, don't make false statements when it comes to finances that are concrete. Like you can't. It's not just what he doesn't understand because he doesn't have an attorney. It's not just defamation. It can be also defamation per se. Defamation per se is based on the inference of it. So when you're listening to his video, what does the average reasonable person conclude when he's making these allegations? Is it defamation? Defamation per se? It's at the end of the day, when you make these statements and these allegations, most people are going to walk away from this thinking that TPUSA, yes, they misappropriate $8-something million. That what you're saying is truth based on information you provided that is being presented as facts, concrete facts. It's the defamation per se as well that can land you in court. So because he is still an idiot and he's not reading or researching, and he has not consulted with an attorney, allegedly, and he obviously is not going to stop, then he's going to even land him in court for defamation per se. Keep going at this rate, Zach. That court case ought to be fun for you, clown.
And to your accusation. But I'm going to at least try to interpret what they're saying. I spoke in my video about a memo that Charlie Kirk wrote 8 days before he was murdered. In the cease and desist letter, they say, indeed, Turning Point USA's COO announcement concerning the Doge effort never used the word audit. So this is breaking news. Turning Point's attorney has now confirmed that the Charlie Kirk memo is authentic. We now have legal confirmation this did happen. What did they ever
say it was fake?
Yeah, I don't think anybody ever said it, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm like, I don't think anybody ever said that it was, but that's a moot point.
It seems like their problem with my video is that I called it a Doge audit, when in the memo it is written as Doge effort.
So there's a mistake there. Just acknowledge it and keep it moving. Like all you gotta do is just say I was wrong. But you want to turn this into a video series, and that's what you get.
Right.
So they want everyone to use the word effort and not use the word audit. This letter is seriously hurting my head.
No.
Because he doesn't read.
Right. And effort is different. Like an audit, like somebody just said right here, it's different. We're not talking about the same thing. So no.
Two different words, two different definitions, two different concepts financially in the financial sector, and audit is beyond what an effort is. Like that, an audit is a review of the company's finances. It's what are you? He's trying to diminish what an audit is. An audit can be a huge effort depending on what you're looking at, what you're auditing.
But why are you trying to explain an audit to an accountant? They should already know that. Like he should already know that. Like why are we having this conversation?
Whatever word you use, the memo is clearly talking about an evaluation of Turning Point. But we cannot use the word audit. We have to call it an effort, or they are going to sue you.
No, they
No.
just say stop doing it. They're just saying you're spreading false information. And you can stop
Oh
and you
my
can say, hey, I made a
God.
mistake. My bad. I did say audit. Here on the letter, it does say effort. My bad. And you could have just been fine. That would
Right.
have been fine. But see, no, you're going to want to triple and quadruple down. And then that's why you're going to be on the fool around aspect of this.
Oh,
I mean, to
yeah.
find out aspect of this.
The letter goes on to say, the announcement makes clear that Turning Point USA was doing what it has always pledged to donors, ensuring it was being efficient with its funds and time and making changes to foster greater efficiencies. Moreover, Turning Point USA hires a third-party audit firm to conduct an audit every year. This is all just their opinion. This is how they...
No, that's not an opinion.
No,
They're
it's not
making
an
a
opinion. That's
statement.
what they. This is
They're
what
making
they
a
do.
statement. That's
He says this is why you get sued, Wills and Finance. This is why your white walker behind is getting sued. You can't make this up.
That's
He
why you
walks
get
for
sued,
something
my
else.
dude, because you're doing wrong. This is not their opinion. They're telling you what they do. Like, but see, in a moment I'll talk about it. But he's inserting himself into this for no reason. There is no reason for him to be involved in this. He shouldn't be getting a cease and desist letter at all. But let's go.
Not at
Hold on
all.
1 second.
They are interpreting Charlie Kirk's memo. They think that Charlie Kirk wrote this memo, and they think it means that they do not have to do anything.
Oh my God.
That's not true.
This is
They don't-
painful, boy.
they literally
You can't
just-
make this up.
Well, and also, if anybody wants to, last night I did a review of Tyler Boyer, who was on a podcast. He spent 2 hours answering all of these questions. 2 hours answering all of them, from the audits to whether or not he's some kind of deviant, everything. He answered a lot of questions. There were still a lot of questions still could have been answered, but he answered a lot of the big questions. And he answers about this audit, and it does happen. So what he's saying right here is factually in error. The problem is Wolves of Finance doesn't need to be involved in this at all. He's already said he's a small accountant. Go do your accounting, sir. You don't need to be involved in this. You inserted yourself into this, and you were wrong. And now you're catching cease and desist letters, and you're upset about it. That's your fault.
You're trying to keep safe face for the Candyites out here. The cult members that choose to follow Candace Owens to the ends of this flat earth she believes in. But you can't make this up. He doesn't have to do this. He could decide, I'm not going down that hole with you. And if they decide they don't want to watch his videos anymore, then he's going to have to find some real content to talk about. How about starting with the actual definition of the word endowment, or explain what an audit is? Like, this makes no sense to try to tell them what a letter from Charlie Kirk actually says when they can just read it. It's that simple. He's sitting here trying to create this false narrative and to call them a liar on something, to catch them on something. You're not going to be able to do that. They sent you a cease and desist. Grow up. How old is he?
I have no idea.
Grown man. You're a grown man. Act like a 12-year-old. Look at this. Look at his face. His freeze frame is epic. Go ahead, Nick.
All right, let's dance.
How convenient. They think that Charlie Kirk wrote a memo just to tell people to keep doing business as usual. Well, my opinion, and the opinion of many other people, was that Charlie Kirk's memo meant something different.
This is the problem. Nobody cares what your opinion is.
You don't
work in TPUSA. You're not affiliated with TPUSA. You don't donate to TPUSA. So really, what is your stake and lot in this argument? Really?
Exactly.
For real. Okay, fine. If you do donate, let me just ask you a question. Do you think that Charlie wanted that the company was moving as inefficiently, that they needed a quote unquote Doge audit in the most Doge sense? That's dumb. They never were before. And since we already know that the word Doge was not, had only really come into the lexicon in the last year, we know why he was using it. He was enamored with the idea of being more efficient, more dialed in. That works right alongside. And like I said, Tyler Boyer explained it, and it makes perfect sense. And and by the way, he actually works there. But we'll find out in a moment.
Wait, hold on. So Paramount Tactical also had an accountant, a tax attorney on his show as well that explained this whole thing. And this is where people are drawing, like Candace and her followers sitting here trying to get their baseline facts and information from someone who's not a tax attorney at all. Is not even, he's probably not even well versed on tax laws. So for him to try to give these statements as if what he says is the gospel is disturbing to me when he's not reading a memo, and no one disputed the memo to be authentic or real.
Yeah, that's my first time hearing that
He
one.
sounds like Candace right now. It's like, wow, he didn't have a brain of his own. This is ridiculous.
No, let's keep it moving. Let's
go.
This is not a statement of fact. It is an opinion. This is another problem I have with this letter. Most of the statements they mention are opinions, just like this one. If you are going to accuse me of defamatory statements, they need to be facts, not opinions. If I have a fact wrong, let me know and I will happily correct it. But I will not change my opinion of this memo to whatever you want. But since it is so important for Turning Point, I have no problem with specifying that Charlie Kirk's memo used the words Doge effort, not Doge audit. The next statement is...
So just say I was wrong. That's all you got to do.
Exactly.
Most people would just be like, okay, my bad. I did use the wrong word. That's fine. And just keep it moving. But you don't. Then there's a problem.
Someone at Turning Point decided not to file 990 forms. At the time I made that video, those forms were not publicly posted. Those forms were posted after I made that video, and I have already made a correction about that. The next...
So they weren't wrong.
Crazy.
They weren't wrong in their... When they, because who knows when they started filing this, collecting their data, who knows?
Exactly.
So they weren't wrong. So you don't actually need to bring that one up, because he doesn't bring up all, I think he said there's 11 things. He doesn't bring up all 11 of them, which I find kind of cute, peculiar, but I digress. Let's go with this one right here.
Next statement is, in 2023, $650,000 may have been funneled from Turning Point USA through Turning Point Action to Turning Point PAC to evade campaign finance restrictions. They are referencing this chart from my video. They claim money actually went from Turning Point Action to Turning Point USA as a reimbursement for event expense. There was nothing nefarious about that transfer.
And
I'm not sure they are contradicting what I am saying.
What'd you say?
He's saying that money was funneled as if it was laundered through, because that was the overall point he was making.
That's correct.
In his video, as if they were doing money laundering. And so, like I said, it's not just you have to prove word by word what I said was false. It's the defamation per se. It could be the assertion of it. If I walk away watching his video thinking that he is accusing them of money laundering and funneling money into accounts that he feels should not exist, or they are investing in stock markets they should not be doing, it's the defamation per se. It's still creating the reputational harm. That's what he's missing here. And they can sue him over that. So no, they're not going to go word for word to prove every word you said is false. It's the overall point and assertion you're making when you're saying money is being funneled and you don't know where it's going and you don't think it should be going that way because you're using your credentials. He said in his video, I'm an accountant, like he knows what he's talking about.
Right.
And he's trying to give validity and credence to what he says in his videos because of his profession and his education and knowledge. The problem is that you're trying to give more credence and credibility to your allegations. You're not just coming from a stance of, I just looked at this information. I did some simple math. It just didn't add up. But perhaps they can provide me with more documentation to help me understand this. No, he's coming in as if he's an expert. That's the difference. Why do all of that?
Right. And this is the part I keep bringing up. Like, you did not have to insert yourself into this discussion.
Not at all.
You didn't have to. You chose to. You said, hey, oh, this is a good place to jump in. You jumped in and you realized that you should have probably jumped out. So let's finish up.
Yeah.
According to their own statement, Turning Point USA used their own donor funds to pay for an event on behalf of Turning Point Action, freeing up Turning Point Action funds, which they then transferred to Turning Point PAC. They are saying that later, Turning Point Action reimbursed Turning Point USA for that event. But that doesn't change what I was saying. Additionally, in my video, I specifically said, again, This is not necessarily illegal if they structure their transactions correctly and utilize campaign finance loopholes, but it certainly looks unethical. That is my opinion. This money did move between the organizations. I'm allowed to have my opinion.
So
You idiot.
there's an attempt to use the word "my opinion." I searched the transcript of this video. He uses opinion like 23 times. I think the word
Because
fact.
he thinks it saves him.
I think he used the word facts like 6 times. It's a real gross number. But no, sir, it doesn't work like that. I'm just trying to be honest. I'm not trying to pick on you though. But he just either I know he has to know this because he's an accountant. He knows way more than me. So he understands this. So it cannot be that he's not aware of what he's saying. It has to be that, in my opinion, that he is doing this intentionally. But watch this. Let's go.
Exactly.
On November 30th, I posted a video called Explosive, More Fraud at Turning Point USA. They say these are false claims.
Right. That's a statement. But watch how he tries to fix it. Watch how he tries to fix it. This is amazing work.
Wow.
This is amazing. Right, watch this.
There was more fraud at Turning Point USA. I assume they are referring to the title of the video here. They, of course, are saying that there is no fraud at Turning Point USA. The content of the video is me going over the evidence of fraud and sharing my opinion. Now, technically, a true statement would be that no one has been convicted of fraud at Turning Point USA. But whether fraud is going on right now is an opinion. This is what happens in every criminal court case.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can't just say there's fraud based on my opinion. When you allege that fraud is well, first of all, what you're alleging is a crime is occurring. Because fraudulent activity is criminal activity. It is a crime to commit fraud. Fraud in and of itself is a criminal charge. So when you're asserting someone is committing a crime, that is defamation. You can't prove that they're committing the crime of fraud, period. It's not to your opinion with that. And additionally, it is definitely harmful to their reputation. You say committing fraud and they're committing a crime. It's ridiculous. It's mixed. Candace gets mad when people say you shouldn't be using the likeness of the CIA logo on your stupid hats and t-shirts because there's a federal law that says that you would need consent, to which you do not have. It can be proven she doesn't have consent. And the law itself states that using the likeness image of that CIA logo is a federal crime especially when you're making money from it. Those are two facts. I don't have to give my opinion with that. Those are fundamental facts. You can look that up. He's saying they committed fraud. It's my opinion, though. But that's not how accusing someone of fraud works. You have to show evidence of the fraud itself, of the crime that you're alleging occurred. And fraud is a crime. It is so... He's an idiot. I just don't know how else to put this. I'm sorry, Deacon. I can't be nice about this. This guy is an idiot. He's an idiot.
He is, and I just want to say again, he's inserted himself into this argument, whether he's versed on it or not, whether he's aware of it or not. He's inserted himself into this. Nobody asked you to do this. You chose to do this. You chose to. You could have easily not gotten into it, but he also, in a moment, he's going to talk. Notice he's showing the thumbnails of videos that they're calling into suspect. All those videos are still on his channel right now. You could have just took them down and said, you know what? I made them private. Edit out you could edit out the foolishness that they're calling out. You could edit that out in real time and keep the video intact. You could do that.
Exactly.
You chose not to. So yeah. So you're on the find out aspect of it.
Both sides look at the facts. One side gives their opinion that they are innocent. The other side gives their opinion that they are guilty. Turning Point is looking at the financials and claiming that they are innocent. I understand that. I'm looking at the same financials and thinking they look suspicious. I did not even say in my video that they committed fraud. I think I'm very fair and balanced when I...
Wait, hold on. Because wait. Don't say anything yet, because I know what you're going to say. Don't say anything. Just wait. Hold on.
Okay. Now, for legal reasons, I have to say that I do not have any evidence of a crime. We would need an investigation of the books at Turning Point to know for sure. What I am saying is that there are red flags in the financials at Turning Point and a lot of questions that need to be answered. That sounds to me to be pretty fair and balanced, and the complete opposite of what they are accusing me of saying. They cannot take my statements out of context and accuse me of defamation. I have the right as a journalist to report.
Hold on. Don't say anything yet, Layla. Notice now he's now inserted a new job. He is now a journalist. Remember earlier, he was an accountant, he was a YouTuber, now he's a journalist. But don't say anything yet. It's coming around the corner. I know. Hold tight.
Report on Turning Point's financials. Their opinion that they have not committed fraud is just an opinion. My opinion is that it looks suspicious. Now, it is nice that we have this letter with their official statements, but the letter does nothing to change my suspicions. It does not address most of my questions. Instead of answering my questions, it is the precursor to a lawsuit unless I change my statements. That does nothing to reduce my suspicions. For the sake of avoiding miscommunication, I can change the title of the video if that makes them more happy. I already changed it from More Fraud at Turning Point USA to More Fraud at Turning Point USA, allegedly.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Sorry. Darn it. I'm gonna stop right there because he said he didn't make any claims. Sir, this is a claim.
That is a claim.
The sentence is a claim. More Fraud at Turning Point USA is a claim.
Allegedly.
So just to add allegedly doesn't make it not a claim.
Exactly.
It's a true claim. Let me move this guy out of the way.
It's just the failure to read for me.
Hold
it's
on.
the failure to read for me. You can't make this up. What school did he go to? It's like they went to the school of Hard Knocks and the White Walkers with Candace.
I don't know. Make this up. I'm like, sir, you're making a claim right here. You're saying that there's more fraud. So that means there was first grade fraud, then there was second grade fraud, and now there's more fraud because I went to third grade where I learned how to fraud in third grade. And next year I'll learn fourth grade fraud. There's more fraud.
All this fraud.
Right. Child. So you're making a statement, sir. I don't think that you understand. No, I'm sorry. I do believe he understands that.
He knows. He's inferring that fraud is occurring because of these so-called red flags, to which he can't even explain. What are these red flags? He said he's asking questions. Where are the questions at? Well, start with the questions, because if you have the intent to just ask questions to get information, you would pose questions, and you would pose questions based on what you're looking at. He's not even doing that. He's not even asking questions. So he's saying there are red flags based on what I saw. What red flags? Just because you don't know a tax deadline, or you don't know how to define an endowment, or you don't know how money works between a subsidiary that is a 501c4 versus a 501c3, does not mean it's a red flag. Just because you said it's a red flag doesn't make it one. Your opinion is not based on anything factual. And this idiot is an accountant who still claims that he knows what's 2 + 2. It's not purple.
Let's let him go. Yeah, let's let him go.
More fraud at Turning Point USA, allegedly. The next statement is that America's Turning Point had ghost employees. The letter explains, America's Turning Point had 80 employees in FY23 and 108 in FY24. There was, however, an inadvertent error in America's Turning Point filing, which failed to note these employees, and America's Turning Point is in the process of rectifying that inadvertent error. So I was right.
No, you weren't.
There was something wrong. They did put incorrect information on the 990 form.
Okay. All right. That's fine. You know what? I'm going to give them, if they put incorrect, if they're supposed to have been, what I wasn't clear on is how many people it was, but there were people on there and there should have been more. You know what? I'm going to give them that.
You can't make this up.
But
if it was just a clerical error and there was no intent to put false information, he's not right. He's saying that they had ghost employees, as if
right now that is
they intentionally had ghost employees. That you cannot prove that. And if they're saying that there was an error on the filing, they may have an outside tax firm doing their documents.
They could.
It's not. What if they didn't know? So to say that your error is still proving my point of me alleging you had ghost employees, it's not accurate. It's still an allegation you made that was not factually proven. That is the point right now. The problem is you're making these allegations as a matter of a fact, or you're making these assertions where it's being inferred that fraud is happening or that there are red flags to insinuate money laundering. It's not about you. You're not giving them the actual, credit here, or giving them wiggle room to actually say that they could have just made an error. He's not giving them the benefit of the doubt. Not at all. He's just saying it's either I'm right or they're wrong. That's it.
Yeah, there's only options available. Let's keep it dancing. Let's go.
There were missing employees they were not reporting. They have confirmed it.
That's not.
And just to be clear, this
an error.
was a minor mistake.
Yeah.
This was around 80 employees that were somehow missing. Their complaint is that it's not correct to use the term ghost employees. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that opinion, but that is their position.
Okay. I just like that everything that I say is my opinion. Everything he says is his opinion. So we're just a battle of opinions. No, there's actually a fact. These people still worked. Did they still get paid? In a moment, he's going to talk about Tyler Boyer and his employment. And I think it's very adorable. But if they still got paid, then it could be a clerical error. It doesn't have to be. Now, if they were paying them under the table, then maybe we got some problems. But I don't think that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about on the form. Somebody made a mistake.
We're talking about an error on an actual what was entered on a document. Good grief! The IRS gave them the benefit of the doubt. I don't understand why he's sitting here having an issue with an actual error that he notated that they said, okay, that's an inadvertent error. If they have an outside firm preparing these documents, what if someone didn't catch the error? It's not to show that they hire ghost employees. That is a totally different concept versus an inadvertent error on a document with a number. Yeah. This is so ridiculous.
Oh, there's a little bit more ridiculousness. Let's let it go.
He's an alien.
I find this incredible. How are they going to sue me for this? They admit that I am right, that the employees were not reported correctly.
It's funny because
he accused of being ghost employees. That's a difference.
Right. It's funny. I can see this guy saying when they do actually sue him, and this is not on there, I guarantee he'll bring this up. Like, well, why don't you sue me for the ghost employee comment? Well, sir, you already clarified it. You already fixed it. So he's going to be mad. This guy's a mess, man. Watch this.
They don't like the wording I used. How is that defamatory? The next statement is that donations to Turning Point Action increased from $10.7 million in FY23 to $27.2 million in FY24, and suggested that Tyler Boyer may have been recruiting these donors away from Turning Point USA to undermine MAGA and benefit himself.
Okay.
How is that? What kind of nonsense? Where did he get that from? I wonder.
Well, no. Watch here, because this is the question that you're asking is the answer that he doesn't give. The question you're asking is not the answer that he gives, because it says here and suggested that Tyler Boyer may have been recruiting these donors away from Turning Point USA to undermine MAGA. So basically, he understands intent. He's assuming intent, that he knows what Tyler Boyer was doing.
Yep.
Tyler Boyer last night talked about this on the podcast. Check that out. But watch what he says to try to fix this.
This is crazy.
Again, this is not exactly what I said. And I find their paraphrasing of my statements a little silly. They are claiming that Tyler Boyer never tried to undermine Charlie Kirk in any of his decisions.
How do you know that he did?
What in the world? This is insane.
How do you know that Tyler Boyer did? That means you would need to know the inner workings of Tyler Boyer.
Exactly.
You're
saying that he did this to benefit himself and to divert funds from political MAGA.
TPUSA.
I mean, what are we talking
Right,
about?
right.
He needs a
Like,
lawyer.
he
Boy,
knows.
this
Yeah,
clown is something else. You can't make this up.
he deserves everything he gets. But watch this.
MAGA is
Tyler
a movement,
Boyer
not a legal
never tried to
entity. Got
benefit
it.
himself in his role at Turning Point. I find those claims a little excessive. What I actually say in my video was sharing my opinion on the financials, which I'm allowed to do. When you see Tyler Boyer's organization growing so much faster than Charlie Kirk's organization, that looks to me like a corporate takeover from the inside.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
What is
let me
he
ask you a
talking
question.
about?
Okay, so how does Tyler Boyer receive funds? Tyler, Turning Point Action, isn't that a part of Turning Point USA?
Yes, it is.
Like-
It's a subsidiary. It's
So,
a 501c4.
What is Turning Point Action? Do you know by any chance?
Turning Point Action is like this super PAC. It's like a PAC. And they
Right,
have
so-
to, they get to lobby and stuff like that. And political.
Oh, so they
It's
probably
a
would be getting money.
501c4.
They would probably be getting money because wasn't something going on in 2024? There was something big going on in 2024. I forgot
An
what
election?
it was.
Presidential election?
That's right. An election. That's right. It's kind of like, it's almost as
Oh, you
if I
can't
know I
make
could
this
be
up.
I could be going crazy here, Lady Luck. It's almost as if Turning Point USA said, start funneling money to you because you're going to be doing things like lobbying and marketing and pushing different candidates around the country. So we need to make sure that you are funded properly. Is that what you're picking up?
Yeah, because that's what a 501c4 is designed to do. Once again, he never goes over the fundamental basics of what a 501c4 is. He doesn't do. He never explains or defines the differences between a 501c3 and a 501c4. The super PAC is the 501c4, and what the law allows them to do and permits them to do regarding revenue and expenses, it's not the same exacting apples to apples with a 501c3. But he never goes over this stuff, and he's supposed to be an accountant. What school did he go to?
I don't know. He went to the school of
smart at all.
hard knocks, I guess. The school of find
It's
out,
the
right?
school of White Walkers. It's the school of White Walkers. The alien place.
That is my opinion, which I'm allowed to have. Now, of course, I cannot know what is going on inside Tyler Boyer's mind.
But you just said
that's not what I said in my video. I was not speaking about his state of mind or his motivation. I do not.
said it seemed like he was funneling the money away from the donors. You made that statement.
Yeah.
Now why don't you
from MAGA to his personal benefit? Isn't that what he said?
Right. That's what you said. I think it would have been interesting if this gentleman had spent the time to actually show what he actually is saying. If you're saying that their paraphrase is wrong, show what you actually said. Maybe give us the links as well as the timestamps. That would have been beneficial, but he doesn't do that. He also doesn't give us the letter. I think that's interesting.
Know that. The letter goes on to explain that donors naturally direct more money towards election activities in election years, especially to organizations like Turning Point Action that can engage in lobbying and political activity during election years. Accordingly, you are wrong to assert that the increased donations to Turning Point Action evinced any sort of wrongdoing on Mr. Boyer's part. So their explanation is that all the changes in the financials can be explained by the election. That is their official explanation. I do not believe it, and that is my opinion.
It's not about your opinion. You're making these assertions where you want others to believe that they're doing something fraudulent, that someone is doing something fraudulent and benefiting himself from a super PAC.
And you stepped into this. You stepped into this, sir. Nobody asked you to do that. I'm going to say that again. Like, you did not have to do this. You did this, wolf of finance, and now you're the one that's got to eat it. You did this. You did not have to put yourself in this position. And you really truly still don't have to. You could honestly say, hey, yo, you know what? Let me take some of these things down. Let me clean some of these things up. Let me go ahead, because I ain't got no time to be getting sued. Now you're going to be getting sued, and you're paying a lawyer to get sued. For what reason? I don't know what the nobility of getting sued just to be getting sued, because today is Sunday, I got sued. That's just dumb. Like, there's no benefit in that. Apparently there is. There's some
None.
nobility in getting sued. I don't know what it is. I choose not to. That's my goal. Let's go.
Pride comes before the fall.
Absolutely.
On December 7th, I posted a
This
video
is
called
crazy.
Top 10 Clowns of the Year.
God.
In this video, I called Turning Point my #1 clown of the
Wow.
year. I talked about the now infamous interview with Turning Point's chief security person talking about the day that Charlie Kirk was
Wow.
murdered. I point out the massive contradiction where he says they were not allowed to fly drones. Then I show the interview with Frank Turek where he says he was watching drone footage with Charlie Kirk. This part is breaking news because I'm not aware this has ever been discussed. The
What?
lawyer in this letter says the following: there was no discrepancy.
Let me let him finish.
This is breaking news for him.
UVU
Yeah.
prohibited Turning Point USA from flying drones for security purposes during the event, but did allow a Turning Point USA media production drone to briefly fly over the location before the event to collect limited B-roll footage. First of all, how could this be defamatory if I had no idea about any of this?
That's your
Maybe
fault.
you should. That's your problem.
Maybe you should
idiot.
ask. And I asked the question. I'm like,
Unbelievable.
why are y'all not FOIA-ing the university? I'm sorry, Utah Valley University, and asking them? Why are you? If you don't think
Exactly.
Brian Harpole's telling the truth, and Brian Harpole told you to FOIA Detective West or whatever his name is, why don't y'all do that and ask?
Exactly.
Because
Fact check.
Frank Turek did follow back up and say that the video he
Yep.
thought he was watching, the quote unquote drone footage, was actually
Mhm.
somebody standing on one of the promenades above him doing that
Mhm.
footage. So it wasn't a drone. He thought it was a
Exactly.
drone,
Don't.
and he didn't
Right.
know. He didn't know any better, and that makes sense. That still rhymes with what Brian Harpole said. But see, this is what I'm saying. Like, you could just quickly just say, you know what, I messed up on that.
Right.
bad.
Or just
Just be-
retract it. It's part of what journalism is all about, right? If you make a mistake, it's called a retraction. It's not that difficult. He's being very prideful because he's got all these Candy Owens supporters sitting here rooting him on to this nonsense where none
gonna
of
root
them
him
are
on
going
to
to pay his
destruction.
legal fees.
Mm-mm.
They're going to lead him straight into a court of law. And I hope he goes there. I hope he gets sued because, we're here for it because this is ridiculous. He doesn't fact check either.
Second, I find this explanation absurd. You are telling me that the security team was not allowed drones, but the media team was?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
right.
Does he not know the difference?
Before the event, they were allowed to do that. It's
Right.
always been like why don't you just why don't you
You
reach
can't
out to
make this up.
UVU to confirm?
Right.
Before you did this video and sat here on the Lord's internet, you could have taken each one of those 11 statements from the cease and desist letter and turned them
Yep.
into your own video and actually did the research and said, okay, I found out that
Yep.
this is true. I found out that they
Exactly.
really truly were stopping them from filming. I think the reason why people have not FOIA'd the security team or the police at UVU is because they know that what they're going to find out supports what Brian Harpole said.
Right.
That's why I don't think anybody
Yep.
wants to, because I'm like, if y'all thought that Brian Harpole, if you really thought Harpole was trash, y'all would have went and got, you would
Exactly.
be parading
Go to
that
UVU.
guy around, the UVU chief around to say Brian Harpole's trash. No, we told
Right.
Harpole to fly these drones. We even had a charging dock for him. We were looking around for him and he wasn't there. You would be parading that dude around. The reason they don't
Exactly.
is because they know that what he said was true. And it's much
Yeah.
easier without bringing that guy on and asking him to just kind of speculate.
Right.
But even
And it's
so, go ahead.
I was gonna say UVU has drones. What they didn't allow was for the outside TPUSA and their security team to bring their drones
Mhm.
or to fly their drones. It is UVU's property. So to say they should not be able to do so, like UVU should have allowed them to do something on their property that they don't allow anyone else to do for an event, it will be contradictory, and they have their own rules and regulations of what they will and will not allow. But why are they? It's like people like him and the Cantifos making this issue about something so minute, as if they get to control and dictate what UVU allows others to do on their campus. This was an event from TPUSA where they came to UVU
Mhm.
to host this event. UVU says We have our own standards and rules and regulations. Follow them. The end. You're on our property. If they don't like it, they didn't have to have the event there.
In fact,
but UVU does not have to bend the rules because a company is coming here to have an event where the rules and regulations don't change. It could have been, Coca-Cola company have an event there. It wouldn't matter. You can't bring your drones outside into it's like somebody bringing a drone in your house and you're saying, no, I have my own cameras installed. And they're like, no, I'm going to come over to you. Invited them to come out. You're letting them come to have Thanksgiving dinner and they want to come with their own camera and recording your home. It's your home. It's your property. You get to establish the rules of whether you want someone to bring in outside, recording devices into your house. And that is the issue. It's like they can't settle in their mind. UVU has the right to say, we don't want other companies bringing drones and flying all over our property like this. We got students here. We got teachers here. These parents are sending their kids here to be recorded on everybody's camera footage. We don't know where this is going. We can't control what the broadcast is going to be. It's for the safety and security of the kids and the students and the teachers and the faculty. They have the right to do that. So why is it that they're having a hard time resolving in their mind? If UVU said no drones, we got our own. That's what it is. The end. It's so look, ridiculous.
And Gary is my guy. I don't know. I don't know about this comment right here about Gary says that they don't own the airspace on the campus.
Yeah, Gary said he had he went there and he told the guy, like, you guys don't own the airspace. Well,
hear me.
I don't know what the airspace would be like, certain number of feet in altitude or whatever, where it would be considered.
I'm
confused
again. Before I start a fight with Gary, I'm not going to start a fight with Gary. Gary's my dude.
Yeah, no,
I was on with Gary last night. But why don't y'all reach out to the school? That's my only question. Reach out to the school and find out for sure. Then we know they said they have control of the airspace. They have an airspace 5 miles above the school or whatever. Then there we go.
Exactly.
We know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just speculating just like this Yahoo. And the problem is he's wrong. I'm gonna stay out of it. But why don't we just go ahead and FOIA if it's that big of a deal? If that's gonna fix the dry patch of grass in your front yard, knowing that UVU controlled or didn't control the airspace, go FOIA them. Get the information, find out, and then we know for a fact. Because at the current moment, whether or not UVU controls the airspace, guess what? That dry patch of grass in my front yard still gotta get taken care of. I'm not losing sleep over it. Brian Harpo said it. I believe him. There's no other. I don't have a reason to doubt him. If you doubt him, go ahead and research it, but don't speculate it. Don't dig into your tea leaves and say, "Oh, my tea leaves said that they should have flown a drone." No, reach out to them. If it really matters that much to you, reach out to them and get the right information.
Yeah, fact checking is not their strong suit at all. They don't fact check to save their lives, and this is what's happening now. It's about to hit him in the pockets, because he refuses to fact check. This is coming from someone that claims to be an attorney, by the way. I just want you all to remember he said he was an attorney.
He's an accountant.
I'm sorry, an accountant. Ooh, let me not say that, an accountant. I'm sorry. He's an accountant, a clown, but whatever.
That is the official explanation from Turning Point's lawyer.
You can't make this
My
up.
honest opinion is I do not believe that. But if that did happen, that is really silly, and it may have cost Charlie Kirk his life.
So who would you blame? So that's my point. Go
UVU.
Go get go find out from UVU. That's not a TPUSA issue. That would be UVU. So again, like just go ahead and pick the fight with UVU. Because again, if in fact they had FOIA'd Detective West and found out that he did truly tell Brian Harpo that they couldn't do it, or I'm sorry, that they could do it, but Brian Harpo just forgot to bring the batteries for his drones, that day or whatever like that. Then it would, y'all would have been traipsing that dude out of here already.
Exactly.
He would have been on we would know his name. The fact that we don't know his name, and the fact that I've said his name 3 different times, 3 different ways on this podcast, and nobody's corrected me, is the reason. Because I keep saying Captain West, and y'all know that's not his name. You know that's not his name, and I've been saying it all night. I done said detective, I done said sergeant, I done said master chief, and y'all don't know because he has not been brought out anywhere.
Exactly.
And so my question is, if it matters that much, why didn't y'all go find out who it is?
Yeah, because they,
On
they
December
would have
14th,
to
I posted a
dispute
video
Candace.
called
No, they could do that, or they could just FOIA it from the school.
Yeah.
Tim Pool Rants about Turning Point. They say these are false claims. Asking whether money sent to 110 LLC was to bribe Jay Kaufman. Again, that's not exactly what I said. They are complaining that I'm not allowed to ask questions.
Oh, have we heard
I
that?
cannot
you're
ask
not
questions
asking
about
questions.
110 LLC. I cannot
Lord.
ask questions about Jay Kaufman. I think those are fair questions to ask, given that Turning Point sends them millions of dollars as one of their largest independent contractors.
Last night, Tyler Boyer talked about this and why, in fact, they do that. And it makes perfect sense. And if you want to believe something different, then you won't accept it. But
They don't want to believe anything anybody says. There's nothing you can say will be good enough for them.
No, this is Candace's alter ego. Y'all are wild, man. Y'all are wild.
Not the White Walkers.
This is
invading
America. I'm allowed to ask questions.
Oh, please.
But I think it is fair for Turning Point to also state their official position. They claim Turning Point contracts with 110 LLC for legitimate services. The money you ask about is spent on marketing and advertising services. Any claim that it is a bribe is false. The second statement is asking why America's Turning Point lists its COO, Tyler Boyer, as an independent contractor. Again, they are saying, I'm not allowed to ask questions.
It's something you can read. Do you need to ask something that you can look at in writing, in documentation? You can read tax statements, but you can't see that someone is a CEO and not contracted. Is he contracted?
No, he's a contractor. They have him listed as a contractor. But
okay.
The funny thing is, again, listen to what he says, though. It's like, you know what? Let me.
I'm not allowed to ask questions.
me
No,
let me
you can ask questions. You're making
Nobody said
allegations.
you can ask questions, but listen to what I want him to tease this out. Let him go. Let him go.
Does Turning Point see the irony in this? Charlie Kirk died under a tent with the slogan, "Prove me wrong." His whole college campus tour was about asking questions. And now Turning Point is sending out legal letters to small YouTube channels accusing them of defamation for asking questions. I was asking the question why their COO was an independent contractor. I think that is unusual. That is my opinion.
Based on what?
Turning Point is now stating their official position. America's Turning Point lists its COO as an independent contractor because his substantive role for America's Turning Point is more in line with the contractor classification. So this is new information. Now we know Turning Point is intentionally doing this. This is not a mistake.
So wouldn't that be? Let me ask you a question. If they allow him to be listed as the COO to be an independent contractor, isn't that between the contractor, Turning Point, and the IRS?
Right.
So me not understanding it or me not liking it, because in a moment he's going to say it's not bad. He just doesn't think he doesn't like it. So it's not really a bad thing. It's just he doesn't like it. So since it's not a bad thing, guess what? I don't have to answer to you about why we do it. They just chose to do it. And I don't know why. I don't care. I wouldn't have lost any sleep over this question.
It's so weird.
They are intentionally classifying their COO as an independent contractor, which means they are not withdrawing payroll taxes to send to the IRS. Now, if I were their CFO, I would not do this. But for some reason, their CFO, the politician Justin Olson, has determined with all of his accounting expertise that this is the best way to classify their employees. Whatever the reason, this is Turning Point's opinion about an IRS classification. It is not a statement of fact, and I'm allowed my own opinion.
Okay.
It's so stupid. The classification can be read. If they it's easy, it was best to do it this way because CP PAC is a subsidiary and the COO is best to be listed as a contractor. It's what they choose to do. If there is any consequence for payroll taxes, that would be for the IRS to determine, not this simpleton accountant. It makes no. He's not the IRS. If they have not penalized Turning Point USA or TP PAC for that, why do we care about what he thinks about what he believes should be or should not be done? It's what they're choosing to do. And if they're not being penalized for it, the IRS has not sent them a letter charging them saying you got to pay this penalty because you're misclassifying employees and contractors. We don't care what he thinks. The IRS is okay with it. It's
The IRS is okay with it. There you go.
It's so ridiculous.
So let me ask you a question real quick.
Oh God.
Following this man's logic, Tyler Boyer is what? What is his classification in TPUSA after what he just said here? What is his classification?
He's an independent contractor, isn't that what he said?
Stay right there. Yep. Just stay right there. Because in a moment, you're gonna see why I think he's very duplicitous. And you'll see very clearly in a second. I just want to make sure you understand. He just clearly said Tyler Boyer is an independent contractor, right?
Right.
Okay, watch this.
The letter also states, more generally, you have accused the Turning Point entities of being shell companies. This too is false. They are arguing about what can be defined as a shell company. They don't want anyone to call Turning Point's multiple organizations shell companies. Personally, I do not agree that it is an incorrect use of the definition. Turning Point is moving money between organizations like some kind of shell game. A shell game is a classic street hustle and magic trick. So in my opinion, I think it would be appropriate to call them shell companies. But if Turning Point is so upset about the word shell company, I have no problem calling them something else from now on.
Well, we already know that he's going to say something ridiculous.
You
he already
can't
said,
make this up.
We already know that. But yeah, that was pretty wild.
What? So he thinks, oh, it's a shell. What makes him think that it's a shell company?
I have no idea.
Is it not fully staffed enough for him? Because the courts wouldn't care what he thinks it should be.
There you go.
What is defined to be? How would the courts see this when they sue him? Because he's gonna get sued. I'm just saying right now. Because this whole thing of the defamation per se, and the many inferences that he's made based on his allegations, and then his stupid explanation. Either he just didn't know the information is breaking news for him because he doesn't fact check, or he is misconstruing definitions of terms and concepts like laundering and funneling and shell. Like, you can't make this up. And you get to court and you say, here's my client's defense, because he thinks the shell company is like a shell with empty hollow things that's on a table, and it's a game, and you move them around, and because of the money funneling and all of this, and Your Honor, you have to. It's his opinion, but you're purporting this to be a fact. You're giving allegations. You're not asking questions. You're not trying to get information out of this. You're not trying to gain any knowledge from this. What have you learned with all this nonsense other than how to read the cease and desist letter?
Well, we didn't read it because
that's what's going to come down to. He's not asking anything. He's not trying to gain knowledge for knowledge's sake. He's making allegations, and people are able to infer that he's accusing them of committing fraud. That's what it comes down to. The average person, such as the jury, would sit down and see these videos, read the letter, put all this together, and say, to me, he's trying to say that they're committing fraud here. They misappropriating money. They're funneling money. They have shell companies. They're lying about ghost employees. All these things is going to come down to what the average reasonable person would be able to deduce watching this in defamation, even defamation per se. This is absolute madness that he has not talked to an attorney when he did this video. This is crazy.
I really hope. Yeah. But watch this. Let's go.
Oh, dear Lord.
December 28th, I posted a video called Shocking, Turning Point Fraud Gets Worse. They claim you recklessly repeated many of the previously described falsehoods and again directed viewers to the home address of Mr. Boyer, which has resulted in threats to Mr. Boyer's safety. Let me explicitly state that I condemn any violence, any threat, any harassment being sent to any employee at Turning Point.
Did you hear the problem? Did you hear the problem?
Yeah, it's like that's not what
No, listen to what he just said. Go.
I condemn.
Let me see if I can scoot back without. I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to. Okay, listen to what he says.
Okay.
Remember.
Let me explicitly state that I condemn any violence, any threat, any harassment being sent to any employee at Turning Point.
Employee.
What is Tyler Boyer?
An independent contractor.
Independent contractor. I told you. That's why he did it. That's why he did that.
Oh man.
So now he's going to say, Tyler Boyer is an independent contractor, so it's okay that I put that I doxed him. Well, he didn't dox him intentionally, but it's going to be okay that I doxed him because he's an independent contractor, not an employee.
You can't make this up.
Because he could have easily just said employee or anybody affiliated with or contracted with Turning Point. He could have said that, but he said employee only, and I think that's why he did that. That's just my thoughts.
Do not even harass them on X.com. Do not retweet at them. Do not send them angry messages. Keep your comments in my comment section. Just for the record, I will repeat what I have previously said. And I have to tell people, please do not go to Tyler Boyer's house. That is not appropriate. I was in no way calling for violence against Tyler Boyer, and you are absolutely false in claiming that I was.
Why did you put out his address?
I blacked out Tyler Boyer's address, which I did not have to do. He put the address himself on a public document. That's not my fault. That's his fault. Don't blame me when I have tried to protect his privacy.
That is wild.
You can't make this up.
That is some wild work right there.
Why would we don't need to know his address, period. It's not about whether or not I know Candace's address. Do I need to sit here and tell people that? No, I don't. She's got 4 kids. It makes no sense to say, well, it's gone on some, public document in the past. So let me do this. We don't need to know his address. That's not information you need to disseminate to the public. It's irrelevant. No one needs to know his address for any reason at all. It's just stupid. He's getting sued.
Right. And the fact that he put the information out there, sure, Tyler Boyer put the information on a tax document. The reason people know about the tax document is because of you, Mr. Wolf of Finance, going through and spreading it. Now, sure, you redacted it, but the only reason people are even looking at it is because of you. So you tacitly did put them there. That's you. So you're gonna have to answer for that. I'm sorry, there's no other way around it.
Exactly.
All right, we're almost done. We're gonna get to the begging part now. Here comes the begging part.
So that is the letter. There are more paragraphs of legal language that I skipped, but that is pretty much the letter. I have to say that in general, most of the things they brought up were nitpicky little things. Like they don't want me to use the word audit or the word shell company.
Don't do it then. Just don't do it.
Those are not even facts. But I am going out of my way to adjust for some of their requests. And I want to mention something else. Take a moment and think of all the statements they listed in this letter as problematic. I think it's around 11 statements they are claiming are false. Now think about all the things I've talked about in my videos on Turning Point. There are a lot of other things that I have said in my videos that were never mentioned in this letter. They did not say I got those statements wrong. I think that is very telling.
No, it's not.
Again, I have no desire to spread false information. Some of their statements in this letter were actually very helpful in answering some of our questions. So I hope that this video cleared up any confusion. I will be honest with you guys. Getting a legal letter like this is scary. I don't know why Turning Point is attacking me like this.
Oh, no.
I don't have a lot of money. Lawyers are expensive, and I'm going to need a good one.
Ask Candace.
So I'm going to ask for help. If you like my videos, consider signing up for a membership. That is money that I would use if this turns into a lawsuit. If you want to provide additional support, you can also donate directly from the homepage of my website on wolvesandfinance.com.
I'm going to do a GoFundMe.
I really appreciate all my members, and I'm so thankful for your support, especially in times like these.
Oh my God.
I'm Zach from Wolves and Finance. Thank you for watching.
You're getting sued.
Yeah, I don't know how you can get around that. I just think you make the adjustments, man. You could literally make the adjustments.
No, stop taking me. Taking me, Candace. Stay taking me.
Like, you can just make the
And he
adjustment, man.
doxing people for no reason. Like it's so disgusting that they think that they have the moral high ground. And then when it comes down to, oh, I'm about to be sued and have to explain this in court. Oh no, I can't believe they're attacking me. It's like now the definition of the word attacking changes because of how you feel about things. Because now you're feeling things. You can't make this stuff up. You
Yeah.
can't make this stuff up. This is so ridiculous. I enjoyed that. TBUSA is saying we're not for play. Stop doing this. And I believe, and I'm gonna say this. Charlie Kirk probably should have said a lot of things while he was alive and put his foot down on a lot of issues before, because this is what happens when you try to say, let me be nice about things. Let me not, shake the boat. Let me not hurt someone's feelings. And then look at the monstrosity that's being created behind the scenes. And then when no one knew that this was he was going to actually happen,
Yeah.
but now in the event of his untimely death, it's like now these monstrosities have broke open their shells, and we have these White Walker monsters roaming the earth, wreaking havoc like this, when most of this could have probably been nipped in the bud had he just made a statement or two, while he was alive, especially about Candace. He unfriended her. I mean, what friendship did they really have in the last 2-3 good years of his life?
That's a great question. I think
like this is he could have already set the record straight when it came to his views on things like his relationship with Israel and all these things that she's now out here just demolishing. And he's not here to defend himself. And she would not be saying these things if he were still alive. That's the problem there. She knows that. And she doesn't care. Here's where now this lawsuit is going to make you have to start caring, Candace, because you're a clown. Here's what this lawsuit is going to say. Listen, we know you didn't care before, but let's hear you say this under oath in a court of law to this judge.
Don't care.
Because we're tired of this nonsense and you making these false statements. Now repeat all that you said, and we're putting you under oath. We're going to do a deposition. We're going to have you cross-examined. Now you have to do these things under oath, under the penalty of perjury. Let's see how well that goes, Candace. Because if you lied before, just keep that up, girl. Let's see how well you lie when you get sued and you got to go to court. Go ahead. We dare you. Please lie. That would make my day. Go ahead and lie, Candace. So then you can be hit with perjury charge. Like, that's what it comes down to. It's just nothing but just more consequences. And their pride is going to come before their fall. And Candace is egging this nonsense on her cult following, the White Walkers. All these people are sitting here egging this nonsense on, and for no reason at all.
No, I'm right there with you. And I think, and again, this is going to play out really bad. It's going to play out long. It's going to be, again, just a long story that doesn't need to happen because people just inserting themselves into it. And I do want to go back to what you said. I do think Charlie Kirk, I wish he had addressed a lot of these topics. I mean, it is water under the bridge now, but I do wish he had addressed a lot of these topics and really put their heads to bed. If he wasn't rocking with Candace, I wish he had just said it. And really made it clear. But let's just be honest. He made himself very clear about where he stood with Nick Fuentes, and people still acting like he didn't say it. So even though he did say stuff, like, again, I hate to say he needed like a business last will and testament, but he needed a business last will and testament. Like, in the event of my death, I don't mess with Tucker, or in the event of my death, right? Or because he did a good job. He did a good job of keeping people, keeping his friends close, his enemies closer. The problem is the people who are left now, that's not their strong suit. And I think they're not as good at it and managing all these relationships as Charlie was. Whereas Charlie was very good at it, I don't think the others are as good at it. And that's not their fault. They weren't, that's not what they signed up to be.
Right. And and just, at this juncture, like, they're expecting Erica Kirk to fall in line and do the same exact thing as Charlie Kirk. And tough noogies, she's a totally different person. She's not, she's grieving also. She's not tolerant of this nonsense. It's not something she feels like she has to deal with. I was hoping that this would come down to where she's gonna sue them, because you take a flight out to Tennessee to have a conversation with Candace when Candace was too much of a coward to go to Phoenix and face her in front of a camera is, telling to me. But I kept saying, I hope she didn't just do that for nothing. I hope it was because she's trying to gather evidence. And Candace, you tell on yourself every time you open your mouth. So it's like, hopefully that's what that was just more of, let me gather some information. Let me at least say, if we sue, we flew to Tennessee, Your Honor. We went of our way to try to have a conversation. We gave her an opportunity to ask questions, and it still led to her making the series of these videos where she still keeps falsely accusing me of being on Fort Huachuca or Chewbacca, whatever it is, and no evidence that I was there, when I can prove where I was on these dates at these time frames because my house has camera footage. Like,
Well,
it's so ridiculous. Like she can at least say she tried.
Well, I pointed out, I do think they told her, but if you go back, Frank Turek talked about the night before Charlie flew out. He came back from Korea and he was there, and they went out for a walk at 8:00. And he came out, he texted him and said, I'll be out there shortly. But then he came out late and he said, I was late because Gigi woke up. So that means the little girl is in the house.
Right.
Who's the little girl with? Not, well, who's the little girl with now that Charlie's outside walking for an hour with Frank Turek? She's in the house with her mom.
The girl with the mom. Yeah.
She's in the house with her mom. So that means Erica was in the house. So Eric couldn't have been at Fort Huachuca because she was in the house. Candace won't bring that up, and she'll just ignore that as if it never happened and keep bringing up this, well, you got to prove that you weren't at Fort Huachuca. But ma'am, she was with her daughter. Like
she was with a daughter at home where she had surveillance cameras installed. Like, the best thing that happened was, if she went for a walk, she left the house where her surveillance camera picked her up, leaving the home. Her neighbors have surveillance cameras. I even asked in the last live I did, how many people have Ring cameras installed in their homes? My neighbors have cameras. It's just kind of the thing now. It's a standard almost. So you're going to be captured on someone's camera, and they can easily just pull the footage. Your cell phones give off signals to cell towers that give coordinates, and it has date and timestamps with it. There are just so many other ways. Thank God for advanced technology. Well, you can show proof of where you were at these dates and times.
But see, that's the problem.
It's crazy.
But see, I apologize, Lady Luck. You shouldn't have to prove that. If I say, Lady Luck, where were you? Where were you yesterday? And you say, hey, I was at Lenox Mall. Okay, fine. I trust you. You was at Lenox. Like, you don't have to prove to me that you were at Lenox.
Right.
No, like, who am I? Like, no, like, what are you talking about? I was at Lenox. Okay, fine.
I always say that. Yeah.
I was in
Macon.
Macon.
Candace.
Okay.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think you even have to go through all that. I don't need you to go pull Ring camera from your neighborhood and cell phone triangulate and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
No, this is where I was. I'll let you.
Right. Yeah.
Like, why is that not enough? That's the question I think people need to start asking. Like, well, why is that not enough? If somebody says I was, and again, you haven't proven anything. Like, even what you're saying is wackadoodle, because you haven't even proven that you're the person that you claim is your source of all insight, Mitch Snow, is legitimate. So until you prove that, why do I need to prove that I was where I was? I said I was at Lenox Mall. You said you was in Macon, and that's where we were.
And what's the bottom line?
Further notice.
She knows about this base. Who cares? I don't care if she knows about a fort. I don't care if she was supposed to be in a movie. I don't care about any of that.
Does that mean
what
she was there?
Have to do? Yeah, exactly. Who pulled the trigger on the gun? Like, this is what you're supposed to be looking into here. None of those things have anything to do with it. And the point I bring that up only because when she does sue her, she can go to court and say, here's where I was. So for her to continue to lie and say this irrelevant idiot that she's raising $250,000 for is saying he saw me somewhere with no evidence. The whole point of that would be to prove the defamation is in Candace and this Miss Snow lying and providing these provable false statements. The only way you conquer a lie in court is with the truth. So
Right.
the evidence would be, here's where I was. But it's like you said, no one owes Candace anything. And that's her elitist mindset, this whole narcissistic personality nonsense, that the alien that she is like comes through every day. And believing that people owe her something is what's causing her these FAFO moments. This is what's happening here, because you think that people owe you something. No one owes you a thing, period. They don't have to explain themselves. They don't have to tell you where they were. You don't pay her mortgage. You don't have to take care of her kids. You don't buy her clothes and shoes or food. You don't have to feed her or take care of her. You don't have to pay for her kids' doctor's appointment. You have no involvement in her everyday life. You are a non-factor in her life, period. You can literally go into oblivion and she still will keep living. Like, that's how important you really are.
Right, for sure.
This nonsense here, this demeanor is going to be deconstructed when she goes to court and a judge reminds her, they owe you nothing, Mrs. Owens. They don't owe you anything. So you demanding evidence, talking about you're just asking questions, that's not asking a question. You're not entitled to that. You have no authority and no standing to sit here and demand someone else's whereabouts. They have the right to live and exist in peace. They have the right to live their life and to do what they want to do. They have the freedom to move about, travel, do whatever they want to do without you saying there's an Egyptian plane following and stalking them. They don't have to be subjected to that. It is so disgusting. So this is what we are. And she'll learn that the hard way in court.
She's gonna learn the hard way because she got a hard head. She's gonna figure it out. Man, that's so dumb.
Yep.
All right, what we got here? Real quick. Thank you, Lady Luck. Real quick, we got some people that stopped there. We got new members up in here.
Look at that.
And a member, Heather Rose been a member for a month. I think she's on your side. I think. Have you seen Candace Owens' ex post today? It seemed like blackmail to me. I think it's very interesting. I saw it. I pulled it up.
Where is it? Can you pull it up?
I'll pull it up in a second. Let me hold on. Let me grab it real quick and have it open.
She's blackmailing somebody. You can't make this.
I think it's personally some high grade cope, in my opinion. Let me hold on. I got it ready. Let me finish these up. All right. Shout out to these best live chats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patricia. Patrick. Thank you for the $2 super sticker. Appreciate you so much. Melanie said this with the 10. I wanted to echo the sentiment made earlier because of Candy. I also found these amazing channels, Jay Witt and Lady Luck, all of the amazing, or rather awesome channels mentioned earlier. Also, shout out to April Chapman. Shout out to April. I appreciate you. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being very kind, Melanie, with the $10. And then let's go right here. Thank you so much, Rich, for the 5. We do have freedom of speech. You have to understand that consequences do apply, good or bad. People need to understand, watch your freedom of speech. Again, you just can't just say anything and say, oh, it's my opinion. Well,
defamation is not protected speach. So that's what, people try to go to court. Oh, I was just, saying my opinion. But defamation is not protected speech under the First Amendment. So they get reminded of that real quick.
Oh, they're gonna get reminded in 2026.
Oh yeah.
These people are not playing with y'all. All right. Yes. Our Lila Rose says this with the 7 Canadian. Notice how Wolf of Finance doesn't even use his own clips, form his own show to prove what he's saying. That's a great point. And that's why I said, he's not showing the clip that these people are referring to. He's giving another little ancillary, which seems very similar to somebody else that we know.
Yep.
And Lady Williams has been a member for 8 months. Goodness gracious, she loves you. Y'all should stream together once a week. She said we should stream together once a week. Look, you done paid that woman to say that. I know you paid her.
I did not.
I know you paid her. I know you paid her.
I know you want to do a stream with me, Deacon.
All right, let's see what this what Lady Owens said. She said, difficult to put into words how terrible of an idea it was for Turning Point USA to send out this cease and desist letter. I'm at the point where I think someone intentionally, absolutely detests Erica and permanently feeds her terrible ideas. It's the only thing that makes sense at this point. I again offer my consulting services to TPUSA. For a monthly retainer, we can end this corporate blank show.
No.
And where in
Here's my
this
thing. I got a question for all the Cantifas out here. After all of the dogging and the bashing and the, insults thrown at TPUSA, are you cool with your cult leader, the White Walker, saying that she wants to actually work for TPUSA, even as a consultant? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, why is that?
Why does she want to work with
them? Right. Why don't you want them to crash and burn? Why do you even want them to do better if you really want them to, if they're so terrible? Why do you even want to engage with them?
Exactly. The cult members haven't figured that out. She wants to work for TPUSA. She has said how many times now? Can they put me on the payroll and do that? I'll do their media. I'll do this.
I'll fold their napkins.
Yeah.
I'll fold their napkins.
Yeah, put me on the payroll. Why? Your audience, your cult members don't like them. They can't stand them, and they don't see the hypocrisy in this. Candace, the word of the month in the LLC is hypocrisy. You clown.
Yeah.
They can't see the hypocrisy at all in her wanting to work for TPUSA as a consultant. They're not paying you anything. Guard, you keep Candace. You're gonna have to get a real job to pay the Macrons. I hope you realize that. God, get your resume together. You can't. TPUSA is not hiring you. They should sell Blexit, because that's the one thing they did acquire and they didn't have to do. Sell Blexit, Erica Kirk. Please sell it.
Well, they rebranded it, and it's something new now. It has a new name. It's called Rise. So
yeah, they need to get rid of it.
But
so
whether or not it's good
for my consulting services, because she thinks somebody's getting bad ideas. Somebody asked me, do I see this as extortion? I don't understand why she wants to deal with TPUSA.
Right.
Why does she want to be bothered with them? Her cult members will be so mad. Can't see Candace, and she supports you as well. Look at you.
I love it. But no, I think this is very interesting. I'm trying to see if there's any more, but that's the only one I saw that was worth its salt. So
it's not gonna. Here's the thing, Candace, if you think that this is going to stop TPUSA from wanting to sue you, Wolves in Finance, and anyone else, it doesn't stop it. So you can sit here and, think the Cantifas should be going in on her for even thinking about wanting to be affiliated with TPUSA. That's what should be happening here.
Yeah.
They should be going in her comment section on this post to all the Candy cult members. Go in her post and let her have it. How dare you decide you want to consult with TPUSA? How dare you want to help them? How dare you take their money? How dare you? I thought it was blood money. I thought it was, fraud money. I thought it was a horrible. How dare you? Why didn't flood her comments on X? Because she wants to work for them.
Which is craziness.
Oh, you can't make this stuff up. Yo.
I agree.
Oh, man, Candace, it's not going to end because you said so. That's not how this works. No one cares how you feel, girl.
That is not how it's going to work. It's going to be a very long night. It's going to be a very long night. All right. Lady Luck Club, thank you so much, friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let me see if we got anything good. All right. That was a good one. All right. We'll do this again. We'll have you come back by. We'll come back by.
I know. It was fun. Thank you all so much for that. Listen, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to both Jay Witt and the LLC. Hit the like button, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, big bro. I want my maroon shirt, but it's got to be Spellman on.
We don't have any Spellman ones.
You need to get Spellman. What are you doing?
Well, I'm doing them over here. Okay, so we got the Jay Witt, of course, the Jay Witt podcast one. Okay, so I'm working on the T-shirt for the spring. And the baseball cap. The baseball cap is ready. The T-shirt is ready, but I want it to be a little bit better. So we're working on those, and those will roll out this spring. I can't do a Spellman one because we don't.
Why?
I don't want to. I can't. That's trademark, isn't it? I can't just put. I just can't
I
put
have
Spellman
no
Morehouse
idea.
on something. I can't just put that on something, man. Come on now. You gonna
Well,
have your boy.
I guess I have
You
to
gonna
get
have
an
me hemmed up.
LLC one.
You gonna have me hemmed up over here talking about y'all. I'm being sued by Spellman
That's
College.
license. Yeah, I guess then he'll have to put LLC on it, and then LLC with Sweet Tea, and then then we'll rock it.
Send me your logo and I'll send me a logo and I'll design it and I'll send you a link.
Oh, he spoils me so much, y'all.
He's so wild, girl. You out of control. And we got another
Thank
comment
you so
right
much.
here. Shout out to
I
them.
appreciate it.
No problem at all. Thank you so much. Free speech only gives you the right to speak about the government without consequences. Yeah, and this is another great point. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Robert, this is a great point about private citizens or businesses. I do think people have turned freedom of speech into just like this big blanket. I can say anything I want to say, and you can't correct me because it's freedom of speech. And you're 1,000% correct. That is the actual application of it. And matter of fact, I think that's why Candace dropped really yammering about freedom of speech on her what's called. And I don't think I don't think the Wolf of Finance said freedom of speech. I think he just said I'm asking questions.
Yeah, he's have the absolute right. And it's like, no, you don't.
I don't think he used like First Amendment. I don't think he said First Amendment type of stuff. I think he just said I'm just asking questions.
But he did say he has the right, to to his opinion, all of that. But he's not asking questions. So that's the thing. You're not asking questions. You're making allegations and assertions. And we're walking away from your videos, under the firm belief that you are accusing TPSA of fraud. So then any jury would believe that as well. All this information he puts out that's not even well researched. Crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
This has been fun.
Absolutely. All right. Tomorrow is a federal holiday.
Yes, it is.
Are you getting up early or are you going to stay in the bed?
I'm gonna sleep in a little bit and then I'm gonna get up and then try to do
Y'all are wild.
try to do
You've seen it.
You let me know if you want me to do something. You just send me the time in the link if you want to.
I'm going to bed and I'm gonna wake up when I wake up. Did you see this the Daily Wire's
I did.
You saw that, right?
Yes, it's a song.
Daily Wire Daily Wire is out of pocket.
Ben Shapiro, if you want an actress, I'll memorize like 2 good lines, but you can hire me, bro. I'll do a video. I sure would. Me and Jay Witt, you can hire us both. Well, we be in on that.
Let me tell you this. This is okay. Here, I'm being for real. I believe I support Daily Wire trolling Candace. I fully support it.
Yep.
I think every week they should propose a theme of trolling Candace. So like one week it'll be maroon hoodies, or one week it'll be aliens and time capsules and whatever like that. And they propose it and allow people to submit videos on that thing. And they do it like the Sweet 16 bracket. So that we could vote on like, okay, this video, I really like this video, and I really like this video. And then they compete, and then whoever wins, whoever after the week gets the most votes on their video, his or her video, they win something. I don't know, some ancillary.
Oh my God,
and I mean, make fun that way. Daily Wire doesn't have to make up the content. Daily Wire doesn't have to come up with the content every week. And you can, they can set a standard like no AI. It has to be something real. So then, or anything of that nature. I really think they should, because I support Daily Wire trolling her.
Oh yeah,
through and through, all the way to the just troll her, just troll her.
Yes, I'm here for it. I am here for it. It's best thing ever. This ain't play the video.
I see them. Hold on. Wait. Before we play the video, we got to check where these likes at, y'all. Where are these likes at? We got 770 people in the chat. Where are these likes at? Are these likes where they need to be? Let me know, mods, because we don't play. We can't be supporting bad behavior out here. If y'all not if you're not hitting them like button and making that like button, hit that like button, y'all. Come on now.
Come on now.
Just go and touch it.
Come on now.
All right. Did y'all subscribe? Have y'all subscribed to Lady Luck? Have y'all subscribed to Jay Witt Podcast? Help your boy. Come on, help him. Trying to get that 100,000 before my birthday. Let's get it.
I want to hit 50,000 before mine. When's your birthday, Deacon? When's your birthday?
April.
Mine's March 31st. Look at God.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Okay. Here we go. Can I get it before? Let Lady Luck get her 50. Let me get my 100,000 by her birthday. There we go.
And you say you give me a $50 super. You know I haven't forgot about that.
I did say
you
that.
Say he
yeah.
give me a $50 super. 50,000.
Yeah,
now come on, I'm gonna get $50 super.
I ain't lying.
Yeah. Let's go,
If
y'all.
I ain't
31.
All right. You'll be 31.
No, I said it's no. You know I didn't say that.
You'll be 31. Like,
I'll be 29 and a half. What you talking about? I'll be 29.
Oh, 29 and a half. Okay. Thank you so much for the $10 super. Glad you all are friends. I love both your podcasts. Well, thank you so much, friend.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Did they get the likes up? Did the likes where they need to be? All right. Well, while you're watching this, please make sure you hit the like button. Here it comes. What is this called? Me and My Tiny Horse. Official music video. Oh, it's muted. Hold on. I gotta back it up.
I love it.
What is the horse doing? Like, why is it putting his hoof in the?
Cute.
I don't get it. Why is it doing that?
Well, I've got a friend with a fuzzy mane, short little legs, but a big, big brain. When I feel small, or the day feels long, he taps the ground like, come on, let's go on. You don't need words, just a little pat. He wiggles his ears while the saddle gets strapped. Me and my little horse, clip clop, hooray! We're friends forever in a bright big way, through puddles, hills, and fields of fun. Side by side till the day is done. Bless you, son. And the tiny horse you rode in on. We pack a snack and a map as the stars, kosher carrots and a pack of cards. If I trip up, he waits for me. If he gets stuck, I pull him free. When one feels wobbly, the other still. That's how you know you're a friend for real. Me and my little horse, clip clop, hooray! Laughing all the worries away. When the clouds go gray or the plans go wrong, we can turn the trouble into a song. Bless you, son. And the tiny horse you rolling on. I say, hey, he says, nay. I say, stop, he says, okay. If I'm scared, he's brave. If he's tired, then I'm awake. Far down the road, sun settling down, miles away from the nearest town. Two best friends with nothing to do, converting my tiny horse. Now he's a Jew. Me and my little horse, clip clop, hooray! Friendship grows in every way. You don't need wings or a magic force, just a kind heart and a tiny horse. Me and my miniature horse. Me and my miniature horse.
What is going on here?
Me and my miniature horse. Clip clop, best friends for life.
I'm telling you, I'm mad. I do have to say, like, why does this video only have like 11,000 views? Like, what is wrong with us, people? Like, what is going on here? Why is it hitting the flames? I don't get it.
Oh my God, you're playing with fire. Didn't you say that? Man, you're playing with fire. He's like, yeah, okay, I play with fire, whatever.
Is that what she's doing?
I think that's what it is. Isn't it?
I don't get it. I didn't get that part. Okay. I mean, I got that part. I got that. That was funny.
And now it's a
wow, that's so crazy. Okay.
Y'all, he had the two braids.
That was ignorant. That was ignorant.
Child. Next time, listen, he gonna have that horse gonna have a trim, a color, a dye.
No, we don't.
Them braids gonna be
have
on
to have
point.
a color and a dye. What is going on here? That is crazy. But I'm telling you, please understand.
Oh yeah.
I think Daily Wire should crowdsource
Oh,
their
yeah.
trolling.
Oh yes.
They should have like
We're here for it.
and I'm sorry. They would get so much support and so
Yes.
much engagement if they
Oh,
just
yeah.
said every week. Candace said this about Daily Wire. Everybody make a video and let's see who makes the best one.
Right.
This week, Candace said this about, being able to see into the future. Have at it,
Right.
everybody. And I think the engagement will be off the Richter scales.
It will.
And especially
It
going
will.
into March, because you got March Madness. Like you can play along with that and be like, hey, these are the these are the 6 best videos from the last 6 weeks. And they just go and say who's the best video. I mean, it could be a whole thing. And I'm sorry, man.
Look, man, I'll be dancing and singing in mine.
Lord knows you was dancing and singing. Lord knows, but they be like, hey, no AI horses playing with flames at the campfire. Like, don't do that. Let me ask the audience. Do you think that would work? Would that work if they did that? I think it would. But of course, I'm crazy. So do you think that would work?
You're not the only one that said that. I think a couple others I've seen comments where other content creators say, hey, let me know if you need help, man. We got content for days.
Really? I don't know. Maybe we should just start doing them, man. And just like, hey, can I just send them to you so you can post them on this page? Thank you so much, Lady Luck.
Here for it.
Club Little Pony vid for wit. Oh, thank you for the 5. We already got the video popping, of course. Glad you're friends. Thank you so much, love. And look at this. Look at this. Thank you so much for the $20 super.
Thank you.
Great show.
Pat.
Pat, shout out to you, Pat. We appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
we got brand new members up in here. Brand new members.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining the party. Joining the gang. Appreciate you. And Jen says this is the 5. Thank you. We appreciate it. This is just fun. I mean, we're just here. We're just laughing. We're just having a good time. We're just laughing. I'm gonna go watch the Hunger Games with my daughter. Probably, it's late. So the Hunger Games gonna watch me.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna lay right there on the couch. I'm like, I told her I'd watch it with her. I hear it warming up in there. So I'm gonna be like, yep, I'm watching the Hunger Games.
I have never seen the Hunger Games.
Really?
I have not seen the Hunger Games. Don't kill me. I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I've never seen Harry Potter. And I've never seen the Hunger Games.
Okay, I have all of the Hunger Games. I have all of the Lord of the Rings on DVD. Yeah. I've never watched Harry Potter. I've never read it. I don't really understand it, but we don't have to do anything out of that. But I mean, I got them all.
I have
got all of the Lord of the Rings, all of the
Oh my goodness. So I have a lot to catch up on, I guess. My kids like I have boys, so they like the DC Marvel comic based movies.
Don't get me started on this. Don't get me started. Because I'll go on a 30-minute rant about that. Thank you, Wyoming girl. Wyoming gal. She done bless somebody with a membership. Make sure you say thank you to Wyoming gal.
Shout out to Wyoming gal. Shout out to my moms. I appreciate you guys. Are awesome.
MLK Day tomorrow. Candace had a dream.
And so did MLK.
And so did MLK. That's scary. Just coincidence.
Oh my God.
I see what you did there.
Is that why she did that? Because it was leading up to MLK Day. She tries to keep up with things and stuff.
No, I think she just hit this. I personally think she was trying to. She had to pivot off of Fort Octua because people were not buying into it after Christmas break. Because
at all. I didn't know
everybody realized that it was a scam, so she had to kind of pivot. So she just kind of. That's why she still hasn't given out that Egyptian plane data. She's never addressed any of the claims against Mitch Snow. She just said that people talking about drama. There's a lot of other problems. So I don't think she's I think she's doing this because she had to pivot somewhere. And I think she just thought that would be the right place to pivot, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because she's running out of ideas. I told you all she's recycling her theories. So we're getting to the point where they're being recycled again with a 3rd, 4th time around with these planes. So
the planes gonna keep circling the airport. Eventually they're gonna run out of gas.
You can't make this.
But that's it. Lady Luck.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Have a good week. I appreciate you all. We got to do this again because everybody's demanding it.
We'll do it. We'll do it again. We will. All right. Thank you, everybody who jumped into the chat. Do us a favor, real quick, if you don't mind. If you're over there on Lady Luck Club or if you're on Dear Will Christian,
Hit the like
or if
button.
you're on the Jay Witt podcast. I don't forgot. See, I'm late and delirious. I'm going crazy. Make sure you drop some yellow hearts in the chat, drop green hearts in the chat on the way out the door. Tip your waiters and such of that nature. Thank you so very much for hanging out with us tonight. And we'll do this again real soon. Everybody, have a great night. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.